verse where it says the Injeel and the Torah have been corrupted in the Quran?
I just proved you.
You just said that they made it up with their own tongues.
I just showed you. You
So
diverted.
if I make stuff up about the Quran, have I corrupted the Quran?
Look.
If I make stuff up about the Quran with my mouth, I am not corrupting the Quran. That makes no
Second
sense.
point, it makes sense. Allah clearly disapproved Trinity, disapproved Christianity,
Deviating from the
and
topic.
disapproved Jews.
Your Quran
That means
affirms
very
my
clear.
scripture. Your Quran
Quran
affirms my
disagree
scripture.
with you.
Exactly.
Your
Yes.
Quran does not approve. Oh,
Did we not read you a verse? Did we not read you a verse? Chapter 5, ayah 48.
Wait.
You're welcome to join in.
Wait. You agreed. Look. You agreed.
You're a
the
fake
book
Shamsi, bro.
That Allah approved. Look. The book that Allah approved, He
Is
said.
the Injeel and the
Injeel,
Torah
is
and the
it Bible?
Psalms?
Is it Bible?
No, I never said it was
It's
the
not
Bible. I said
Thank you.
Injeel,
Now-
Torah, and the
Wait.
Psalms.
Right.
No, now he's admitting the book that Allah approved is not the Bible.
Have I ever said that?
Okay,
Have I
thank you.
always said
So,
Injeel, Torah?
Okay, do you have Injil?
We do, yeah. You say it's been lost.
No, do you have Injil?
We have the Gospels, yes. We have the Gospels.
Do you have Injil?
We do, yes.
Waste of time, bro.
Now he said Allah never. Okay, do you have
You
Injil?
said it's been
Do you have
lost.
Injil?
You said it's been
No,
lost.
do you have Injil or Bible?
Why do you keep conflating them?
Okay,
They're
where
not
is
the
that?
same
Okay,
thing.
Who wrote that book? The book you have.
Why are you
No,
deviating
who
from the
wrote?
topic?
Who wrote
It
that
doesn't
book?
matter
Wait.
who wrote
Don't
it.
deviate.
The point is that the
Who-
verse important.
Okay, who wrote that book you have it?
According to your Quran,
No, the
it is
one you have
affirmed from
Bible.
Allah.
No, the Bible you have. Who approved it?
Why are you going
No,
against
answer,
your
answer.
religion?
Look,
Your religion affirms the Injil.
Look, chapter 5,
Ayah
verse
48.
40. He's shouting. They shouting.
My friend, you're not addressing us anymore.
They shouting. Look.
Let that guy speak. Let
No,
him
wait.
speak. He has answers.
No.
It's not.
Give us that one.
I'm telling you. Listen, chapter 5. Let's wait.
It's not a topic.
Chapter 5, verse 43. Allah said the book that Allah revealed to Jesus came from heaven.
Okay.
The author of that book is Allah.
According
But
to
the
the
book
Quran,
he has, he's got 9 authors. So therefore, the book they have is not from Allah.
You're
We
equating
don't know.
the
You
Injil
have 9
with
authors.
the Bible.
9
We
authors.
don't. They're not the same
9
thing.
authors. Jesus said his time
Does the
on earth,
Injil have
he
9 authors?
preached a book.
Does the Injil have 9
Injil,
authors?
no, Injil have one
What,
author.
Matthew, Mark, Luke,
Injil-
John,
no,
Gary?
Injil have one author.
Who is he talking
Injil
about?
have one author.
You're conflating the
Injil have
Injil
one
with the
author.
Bible.
Chapter
They're not the
5,
same
verse
thing.
43.
Help it. Yeah.
Let Adnan jump in. Let Adnan jump in.
See,
I'll help you us from Adawa.
What's your question?
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. My name's Chris.
Go
I
on.
always like.
Coffee. I've got coffee.
Go on, man.
Nice to meet you. So my point to this man here is that according to the Quran, in Surah 5, ayah 48, and in other surahs like Surah 3,
no,
ayah
48,
3,
43.
No problem.
He's,
Yeah, it's
he's
okay.
using a
Anyways,
It's okay.
it is that verse. But anyway, according to that, the Quran affirms the Injil and the Torah, and it commands Christians to judge by the gospel.
Who told you that?
The Quran.
Do you believe that verse?
Wait. Do you know the Do you know the Arabic language?
No, I don't need
You
to.
don't. So
I don't know Latin.
So where does the
Or
Quran?
Spanish.
Okay, no problem.
Right.
If you don't know the Arabic language,
Right.
and if the translations are not saying that, who told you
The
that?
translations are saying that.
No, they're not
He
saying
admitted
that.
that.
I
is
don't,
not
I
the
don't know
Bible.
why I have to keep doing
Read
this.
the trans-
I
he
really don't
admitted-
know why I keep
Read
doing
the
this.
translation.
Yeah, of course. I was
So
trying
you're
He
gonna
just
show me.
admitted, I just proved him.
You're going to show me from the
That book
translation.
Allah revealed. The
that-
author is Allah, but the
Did I
book
not read it out
they got
loud?
9
Wait,
authors.
brother, wait. Come on.
Yeah,
Brother,
it can be
let
not
me
be
handle
their
this.
book.
Let me handle this.
Yeah,
You're going to show me.
yeah. I just told him, but he's shouting.
You're
for
going to
nothing.
show me
Yeah,
from
he's
the
just shouting for
translation
nothing.
that your
I
current
gave him the
Bible is endorsed by the Quran.
I never said that.
He agreed. He
So
said,
what Bible are you
thank
talking
you.
about?
You
I never said
disagreed.
Bible.
So what Bible?
So
I
thank you.
spent the last
Now
10
you
minutes
just agreed.
saying
He
I'm
agreed
talking
with
about
me
the
now.
Injil and the
Let me
Torah,
handle
not
it.
the Bible.
He just
So,
admitted.
I'm not talking about the
So
Bible.
what are you saying?
The Injil and the Torah,
He all-
yes,
Okay.
that the people of the time, the
Okay,
people of the
very
book,
good. You're
had
saying
with them.
Injil. You're saying Injil in the Torah.
Yes.
So you're now endorsing.
I've always said that. This
How
whole
did they
thing.
approve to you?
Brother,
Yeah.
3 people cannot talk. Yeah. So you're saying, can I have the mics? Can I have the mics? Because my voice is not going to be. Give it to me. Now you're admitting.
He already admitted before.
You're
today as well.
admitting that the Quran is talking about the Injil and
Yes.
the Torah.
Thank you.
My
Okay.
entire point
Yeah.
this whole time, I
Okay.
have never said anything else.
Brilliant.
Right.
Oh my God, sorry.
Sorry,
Brilliant.
it does sound-
I like I like the fact that you are honest. And let's
consistent. I've never said anything else than this.
Let's remain honest.
Okay, right. Is what I've said true?
So you have confirmed that the Quran mentions Injeel, which is singular.
Okay, sure.
Injeel is a singular word.
Sure.
It's
Comes
singular.
from the Greek word evangelion.
Yes.
Sure.
And it's an Arabized
version of the Greek word. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know about it.
Yeah.
It's a singular.
Sure.
And the Quran mentions the Torah as a singular.
Sure.
Okay. Where is that?
I don't know. According to Islam, according to that deen.
No.
Wait,
Don't say according to
don't go to
Islam.
according.
Well,
When you say according to Islam,
where is it?
Islam,
Okay. All right.
we're not going to learn Islam from you or someone else, or even from me. I am not an expert. I am not an authority in Islam.
Good.
I am just a student. So when you say according to Islam, that's a very big statement. So let's stick to the basics.
Okay. What I mean
The
by
basics
that,
are the Quran mentions the Torah and the
as
Injeel.
a guidance
Where is
for
it?
mankind.
Where is it?
As
Where
a
is
guidance and light for mankind.
it? Okay.
Is
I'm
that
asking
correct?
you.
Is that correct?
I'm
asking you. The Torah
Yeah.
and the Injeel, single books,
Does it matter whether
mentioned
they're
in
single
singular
or
terms.
plural?
Wait.
Yeah, it matters.
Yeah, it matters. It matters.
like
Absolutely.
Qur'an.
Wait.
Okay.
Show me
Right.
where these single texts are.
Right.
The Quran says Injeel, which
Right.
is a single text,
Okay,
and the Torah is a single text.
Okay.
Where is it?
Okay. This is a problem for Islam.
No, it's not.
Muslims
It's
have
not.
lost
It's
it.
not
because we know.
You've
We know
lost
what
it.
the answer is.
Where are they then?
The Quran tells us.
Where are they?
I'm telling you.
Okay.
You're gonna listen.
I will now.
The Quran tells us the Torah
Right.
of Moses existed once upon a time.
Right.
The original text
Right.
that was given to Moses in his language,
Right,
the
right.
original text,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And the Quran similarly mentions the Injeel, the original Injeel given to Jesus in his language. Now
it
my
say
question is,
original
my
Injeel?
question is, my question is, my question is,
Doesn't say original
wait,
Injeel.
my question is,
Yeah.
was the Torah given to Moses? Yes or no?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. We agree. Good. Was it given to him in his language?
Sure. Yeah.
Brilliant. We are in agreement. We
don't
are
understand where
agreeing
this is
today.
going.
Good. What language did he speak?
What is this relevant to the point?
Oh, it's very
we are
relevant. You will
coming
see.
to the
Can you
will
get
see.
to the point?
You will see.
Because as far as I
What's your name?
understand,
Answer,
mine's
please.
Chris.
He doesn't
Chris,
answer. He doesn't
go away. He
answer.
will answer.
I will-
Don't
I
worry.
will
Let me
eventually
handle
answer.
him. Let me.
He diverts.
I
Don't let him
do.
Okay.
I sleep
So
this.
far,
I
this
eat
hasn't
this.
refuted what I've said.
So don't worry. So what language did Moses speak?
Why is this relevant to
You will
my
see.
claim?
You will
Please
see.
answer.
Just tell
Answer
me,
my question.
and then I will
Is
answer
it?
you.
Is it? Is
See,
it
you
a
will
trap
not
question
answer.
for you?
I don't know where you're going with it. What's
You
the
will
point?
see. You will see.
I've answered it so far, but you still haven't got to the point. Simply enough.
I'm asking you a
Does
question.
the Quran
What
affirm an Injeel and Torah?
language did Moses speak?
Why is this relevant?
You stop your camera. Why? Oh, it's there. Good. This camera
Why
is the most important one here.
Why is this relevant?
I want Christians to
Answer,
see this.
please.
Why is this relevant?
You will see.
Just tell me.
It's a very simple question.
Just
what
tell
language
me.
did Muhammad speak? Arabic. Arabic?
Yes.
Arabic.
Quran was
Okay.
written
What
in Arabic.
language?
Moses-
wait.
Moses spoke
Because
Arabic.
you guys
Moses spoke
keep
Arabic.
coming and beat
Moses
this
spoke
drum
Arabic.
that the Quran confirms the Torah and the Injeel.
Wait.
You keep
Arabic
beating.
wasn't
So I
around
want
then.
to. I
What's
want
wrong?
to deal this.
There's no
I want
evidence
to
that
deal
Arabic
with this
was around
once and
then.
for all.
He admitted wrong.
No, please, Chris.
Did you misspeak or did you?
No, he
sorry,
admitted.
sorry.
The
Chris.
Injeel is
Speak
not
Arabic.
the one they have.
Sorry,
He
no, I
admitted
didn't say
to
that.
me
I said Muhammad.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Okay.
must have misheard.
So what language did Moses speak?
Please say
I will
it.
not go forward
Say
until
the
you answer
answer.
this
Just
question.
wait.
Brother,
What's the
you-
point? I have
Calm
asked.
down.
You are not answering my question.
You will see my point. Answer my
Just
question.
answer my question.
Chris.
I don't want to go
everyone's
down a
watching.
tangent with
1,
you.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10
Yes,
cameras.
and yet you
now
have
11.
yet-
Now 11.
You have yet
Okay.
to deal with the fact that the Quran affirms
my
Injeel and
my
the Torah.
purpose in this is
Answer
to
that now.
educate people. I'm not
Not
here
to answer my
achieve
question.
anything else.
Not to answer my question.
Chris,
He
what
couldn't
language,
answer my question.
what
He
language
couldn't
did
answer
my
Moses
question.
speak? Wait, brother.
Why don't you just answer my
I
question?
want to stick to the point. I
Can you
wanna stick to the
please
point.
be polite and answer
Because
my
you-
original question?
Chris,
Just
you
answer
raised
my
the question.
Yes, I'm waiting for your response.
I'm responding.
Patiently.
Yes.
Please tell me.
You're very patient.
Please tell me.
You're a gentleman.
Okay, it doesn't matter if I know
We're
things.
going to show the world that
It doesn't matter if I know things. It just
Don't
matters your
speak over me.
response. I'm
Don't
just
speak
trying to
over
get
me.
there. Just
I'm
get
going to
there.
give you a chance.
I'd love to hear a response.
English.
I want the
Aye.
world to see the Christians.
Would you like to debate after?
When you finish with this one, we
See, ad hominems. Shame. So you have, my friend.
be patient and you will see.
Let's talk about Qur'an manuscripts.
Okay. Chris, are we going to continue with this?
I would like if you give me an answer.
Okay.
Just give me an answer.
Okay.
It's so cool too.
You raised the question, brother. Calm down. Calm down. Brother, I want you in particular to calm down. You in particular, calm down. Relax. You raised the question that the Quran confirms or approves, okay, or endorse, whatever word you want to use in the English language, that the Quran endorses the Torah and the Injeel. And I said yes, absolutely.
You were rejecting that. He was rejecting it before you.
Wait. Calm down.
He was
Calm down.
conflating Injeel and Bible.
I am asking now, and we all agreed that the Torah is a singular word, yes, and Injeel is a singular word, okay, in Arabic, yes. So the Quran is talking about a single text and a single text. There are two texts the Quran mentions. If we agree that the Quran endorses the Torah and the Injeel, which for the sake of the argument, I'll give it to you. I'll cede territory. Wait. Thank you very much. Thank you. And we will see now. You see, when the chain ball comes your way, you don't know it's coming. Wait. Okay. Now, the Quran endorses the Torah. Let's assume that's true. Let's assume.
You said it was true.
Wait. You're not listening. Are you listening?
Is it true? You said it was true.
I'm assuming English is your mother language.
Yes, but you said two things.
English is your mother language,
and then
right?
you said you're assuming
it's your mother tongue.
Is it true, or are you saying
I'm
you're
saying
assuming
for the
it's true?
sake of the argument.
Okay, so you're not saying it's true.
Okay, wait.
Okay, so we take that back.
For the sake of the argument,
right,
we accept that the Quran endorses the Torah and the Injeel. Okay, now my question is, you are claiming that the Quran endorses the Torah and the Injeel.
Yes,
so I'll give you the claim. Okay, I accept. For the sake of the argument, I accept. Now you tell me which Torah, because it's single.
Right.
You have four Gospels.
Yeah.
You have the Gospel of John, the Gospel of Luke, Matthew, Mark.
Yes.
You have four Gospels.
Yes.
Which
Or
one of
gospel
them?
export,
Okay.
which means all of them.
Good.
Which means
Well
the
done.
good news.
Well done.
So you can use it both in the plural
Well done.
and in the singular. So that
Okay.
doesn't get you out of this problem.
Okay, great.
The second point now, let me make a point now, you made your point. The second point is that according to the Quran, it is affirming some kind of Injeel. The issue is that they don't have
I'm
an
not going to
Injeel.
let you do this. Not
Use
some kind of Injeel. The
A single
Quran says
Injeel.
Injeel.
Okay,
So there's no
Injeel.
kind. The Quran doesn't mention a kind.
Right.
The
It
Quran
affirms
says
Injeel.
Injeel. So
Okay.
I want to know what your understanding is of Injeel.
What would the Injeel have been at the time of Muhammad in the 7th century?
Okay.
It would have been the one that was been everywhere circulated among
The
Christian
Quran,
lands.
we believe-
Which would have been Matthew,
Okay.
Mark, Luke, and John.
Okay.
Show me proof otherwise.
Okay, brilliant. At the time of Muhammad, there was the Gospel of Matthew, the Gospel of John, the Gospel of Luke, the Gospel of Mark, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the Gospel of Judas, the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of... And the list goes on, not Bonner. I didn't mention that.
Oh, it was clever enough not to mention that one.
Wait. Stay with me. If I take your argument that the Quran is mentioning the four Gospels, then by that virtue, the Quran must be referring to the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of... Because these Gospels are extant. They were there. They existed at the time of Muhammad.
Were they affirmed by the church?
Okay. The Quran doesn't mention the church.
No.
The Quran doesn't mention the church.
No, they just
the
mention
church is not the
Injeel.
question
It
here.
just
The
mentions
church is
Injeel.
not the question here.
What
The
were the
Quran
Christians-
is telling us the church is disbelieving.
If you went
the Quran tells us the church is a disbelieving establishment. Why would the Quran use the church as an authority?
But
When
which
the Quran
Injeel would they have had?
The Quran,
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
The Quran is telling us that the Christian church, predominantly the Trinitarian Christian
The
church,
complete one,
is
by
a
the way.
disbelieving
All
establishment.
members of the
Why?
church would have believed
Why?
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John as the gospel. Everyone.
Chapter 5 of the Quran,
Yep.
verses 70 to 75. What do we read? In these 5 verses, the Quran tells us, by extension Allah tells us, that those who say that Jesus is God are disbelievers. Number 1.
What's that got
Then
to
the
do?
Quran, in the same verses, in these 5 verses, tells us those that believe in the Trinity are disbelievers. Okay, so when you bring the church up as some sort of authority, the Quran is telling us they are a bunch of disbelievers. They are kuffar.
He has
They are
just
kuffar.
highlighted.
They are
Wait.
wait, I'm not finished. The Quran is telling us they're going to hellfire. So why would the Quran take their endorsement of 4 chosen texts and ignore the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the Gospel of Judas, and the list goes on and on. So I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to make a point. Now you have enforcement.
So he's just
Wait, I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
You were finished.
I'm not finished.
All right, come on.
I'm finished. Now my question is, the Quran mentions one gospel. If you want to call it gospel,
The hadith
we don't call it the
mention
gospel.
multiple. The
We don't
hadith
call no.
mention
Wait.
multiple.
Wait.
If that's true,
The
it says-
hadith mentions the word gospel. No, wait. Ladies and gentlemen, wait. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it.
You can't take someone's phone.
No, I'm not taking it. You can
Yeah, but my friend, I'll hold it for you. I'm not going to try and trick
This is a
you.
very cheap phone. I don't think it's more than one. Take this one. This is my phone.
What are you doing?
This is
What are you doing? Dude, don't take someone's phone. What, I'll show it you. It's
I'm not
Sura.com.
going to run away with it.
Yeah, but my point is, you don't take things
Wait.
out of people. I don't take your phone.
Chris, why are you so agitated? Let's calm. Take a breath.
Bro.
Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath in. Breathe.
Have decorum.
Do this.
It's not polite.
No.
Take people's phones.
Chris,
I would never dream of taking your
I
phone.
told you to calm down. Okay. Breathe. Take a breath in.
Can I hold that back to you?
Take a breath in. Take a breath in. Calm down. I want you to calm down. Other people here will try to.
That's his phone. Listen, it's not my phone. You can't take it out. Adnan, please,
I'm
come
giving it to you. I'm giving.
I'll hold it for you. Look,
Here,
I'm not going to trick you.
Here, a Christian helper came, and he thought he was helping him.
So you stole his phone. So why don't you let me hold the phone for you?
So look. If you let me finish, I would be finished by now. You
You
would have your
literally
phone.
grab my phone off me and you're like, no, let me finish.
I'm
Be
not-
polite. Let me finish.
I'm not
Let me
running
grab your
away.
phone.
You can
Have
my
decorum.
phone.
I don't want your phone.
this is
I don't want your phone. It's a lovely phone, but I don't want it. I just don't want you to take my friend's phone.
Can you not get this? I don't need
Just,
to.
Adnan,
Tell me the number of the hadith.
what are you trying to? Come on.
So can I have it?
Decorum.
again? You don't.
I'll
want
hold
it.
it. I'll hold it
What's
for you.
happening here? What's happening
Because
here?
you took his
Okay.
phone.
So
Why did you take his phone?
I'll make my point. You see how agitated our Christian brothers are.
Because he literally
They are
grabbed a phone.
completely. They are. I don't know what's wrong with them.
You grabbed
I'm trying to be
someone's
calm.
phone.
I'm trying to be contained. I'm trying to be decent. These
By
guys,
grabbing
they
people's
cannot-
phones.
They cannot show stability.
You
Please
grabbed
show some
someone's
stability.
phone, mate.
Let me make my point.
You
my
don't
point
need to
is,
grab people's phones.
My point is, he just got a phone.
You could have made it without
And there is a
phone.
hadith on the phone, and it mentions the word gospel
Plural, yeah.
in the English
Plural.
translation.
Gospels.
Okay. Let's see the Arabic. Let's see the Arabic. Let's see the Arabic. Yeah, bring it back. Let's see the Arabic. Okay. Let's see the Arabic. Okay. Let's see the Arabic.
Why don't you trust the ones who translated it?
No, I don't.
You don't
I know
trust
the Arabic
scholars.
language.
Better than the
I
scholars.
know
Better than the
basic.
scholars.
I know basic
The
Arabic.
scholar, you know better than scholars.
Chris, is this a sincere discussion or is this a point scoring? Are you trying to get famous here
No.
at my expense? Are you trying to get famous?
I want
here?
you to-
Okay,
don't take
so
things from
you
people.
don't mind looking stupid?
Look, listen.
You don't mind looking stupid?
What? That's an
You're
ad
looking
hominem.
stupid
Ad
now.
hominem.
This is
Ad hominem
calm
is
down.
against
Let's have a
man
conversation.
And not against the
Okay.
arguments. Do you understand?
So my question still stands.
Speaker's
I'm going to
corner.
go back to the main question. Okay, the gospel the Quran is mentioning is not their gospel.
I think he gets
It's not the gospel they possess. It's not the gospel of John. It's not the gospel of Matthew, Mark, and Luke.
Which gospel
if
is
that's
it?
the case,
Which gospel
if
is
that's
it?
the case.
Which gospel
Yes.
is
Now you ask the.
it? No, that's your claim. What gospel is it?
Can I request that you remain silent because we are having a conversation?
He is highlighting a contradiction in the Quran. Because on the one hand, Surah 5, ayah 48, 46, and 43, for
Can I
example.
finish my point?
You've been talking for ages. I haven't
Because
spoken
you're not
yet.
letting me talk.
You were taking phones.
Yeah.
I'm just going to talk.
Yeah.
Listen to this, right? His old Quran affirms the Injeel. The problem is at the
Which
time,
Injeel? Which-
the
I
time
agree.
of
I
Muhammad,
agree.
the Injeel would have been what we
Which
have today,
Injeel?
which
How do
every
you know
single
that?
member
How
of
do
the
you know
church
that? How
would
do
have
you know that?
affirmed. I challenge him to show me
don't shout.
an Injeel
Don't
that
shout.
rejects the Trinity. Show me on.
Okay,
Show me an Injeel that rejects the Trinity.
I will.
Go.
I will. He asked me a question. Show me an Injeel
Yeah.
that rejects the Trinity.
Yeah.
You're going to stand by that?
This is the one the Quran affirms. The one the
Look at
Quran
this.
affirms.
Can you all see what's happening here? When I start speaking, he starts jumping up and down.
You start rubbing phones.
So he asked me a question. Now he needs to be patient to receive my answer. He asked me, can you show me an Injeel that
would
rejects the
affirm
Trinity?
that the Quran affirms. The Quran would affirm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if I take his argument that the Injeel means all these four Gospels they possess, and I asked him, why do you say that? Why do you
Every
limit
scholar
it?
says that.
Why do you limit it to 4 Gospels? If the Quran is saying the church is disbelieving, the church is blasphemous, why would the Quran accept the Gospels given by the church? The Quran is telling us categorically the church is a disbelieving establishment. Full stop. So we will open the gates to other Injeels. Other Injeels. When we do, he asked me a question. Give me an Injeel that rejects the doctrine of the Trinity.
That
The
affirms
Gospel
what the
of
Quran
Thomas,
says.
the Gospel of Thomas, which according to some biblical scholars is earlier than the Gospel of Mark. By the way,
No.
I'm going to give names.
No.
Be
Give
quiet.
names.
Be
Give names
quiet.
for that.
I'm going to
Give
give
names.
names.
All right, go on.
I'm going to give names.
Okay.
Google the name. Google the name right now of the scholar.
I'm not going to stop
I'm
Googling.
Do you know April DeMacCormick?
I could quote you ones that will reject that immediately.
Wait.
Dr. Dan Wallace,
Oh, wait.
Dr. Bart Uman,
Okay.
Dr. N.T. Wright.
Okay.
I could go on and
Did
on.
I
with
mention
scholars.
them? Did I mention
But
them?
I'm telling you, that's
I'm
not
mentioning-
mainstream.
Wait.
Is it mainstream?
Wait.
Is it mainstream?
Okay, wait. Can we have a conversation?
Is it mainstream?
Can we
in
have a
scholarship?
conversation?
Is it mainstream in
Can we
scholarship?
have a conversation?
Yes, I'm asking you
Okay.
now. Is
Okay.
it mainstream in
Are
scholarship?
you aware of scholars
Right.
who specialize in Gospels?
In New Testament criticism, yes.
Okay. Are you aware of scholars who have specialized in Gospels outside of the Christian New Testament?
There are many people that do.
Okay.
Bart Ehrman.
April D. DeMacCormick.
Richard Carrier.
Wait. Are you listening?
Okay, go on.
Okay. I mentioned the Gospel of Thomas.
Right.
So I'm going to give you the name of the expert on that Gospel. I'm not going to mention people who are not experts on that Gospel. Who is the expert on the Gospel of Thomas? April D. DeMacCormick. Go and Google the name. Dr. April D. DeMacCormick. She is an expert on the Gospel of Thomas. She has written a book on it. And she
written a book?
Wait.
Not written a book.
Wait.
I've written a book.
How can you talk to these people? And you know why I'm doing this? I usually now I'm gonna go the hostile mode, and you don't want to see me in that. Okay?
I know you're a big
don't
time
provoke
guy. I know
me.
you're a big
Don't
time guy.
provoke me
You're a
because
big
you're not
time
going to be
guy.
able to handle that. Okay? I'm
Go
trying
on.
to be gentle. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be calm. And if you provoke me to go into that mode like I was with Bob last week, you're not going to handle that. I know you're not going to handle that. You don't have the ability.
You're Super
right?
Saiyan. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to remain calm.
That's
Okay.
good. That's good.
Okay.
I always appreciate
So
that.
good. So let's be gentle with each other. Let people learn. At
Sure.
least
Yeah,
let them
I want people to
learn.
learn.
This exercise is for me to educate people. It's not to beat you in a debate, right? April D. McCormick.
Right.
April D. McCormick. She
Is that
says
mainstream?
that the
mainstream?
Gospel of Thomas, it comes from a tradition which is parallel to the Q tradition. The Gospel of Mark comes from a tradition, an oral tradition called the Q tradition. April D. McCormick, she states that the Gospel of Thomas originates from a tradition that was parallel to the Q tradition. In other words, it comes from a tradition which was, if not earlier, then equal to the Gospel of Mark. Now, what does this Gospel say? In this Gospel, we have 114 sayings of Jesus Christ. What he said. Okay, sayings attributed to Jesus Christ. One of them categorically dismantles the doctrine of the Trinity. Categorically. And what is that? And what is that?
It's
And
a
the reason why this Gospel, despite its earlier origin, the reason why this Gospel was thrown out, because how were the current Gospels canonized? Those of you who are interested in this question, how the Gospels, the 4 Gospels were chosen and others rejected. Why were they rejected? Why were these chosen? You want to understand an answer to that question? I had a debate in South Africa very recently, the canon of... I debated a Christian activist in South Africa, and the title of the debate is The Canon of the New Testament. Okay, go and watch that debate and you will see how these Gospels were chosen. They were chosen by the rule of faith. If a Gospel, despite its early nature, contradicts the Christian doctrine, it was thrown out. Even if it came from trustworthy sources.
Adnan, that's good. I know,
Let
but
me
you're
finish.
going on and on. I need to come in.
Let me finish.
I disagree with
I'm
basically
finishing.
everything you've said.
I'm finishing.
Okay.
I'm finishing. Calm down.
I just want to time you come in. It's not a monologue.
Let's time it then. 3 minutes,
I
3
like
minutes?
to time it.
Okay.
Well, I like 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
3 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes.
Can we get a timer?
Time me for 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Time me for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
minutes.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, My purpose here is to educate. It's not to win a debate or lose a debate. I leave this information for the Christians and the Muslims to think about. You go and think about it.
Right.
And if you think I'm saying the truth,
now let me
accept
speak.
it.
Now let
if
me
I'm
speak.
lying or I'm misrepresenting their faith, don't accept it. No problem.
Can I speak? 2
minutes.
Thank you.
Right. No. It's my turn.
What?
Okay, you
You just had fun.
then let me finish my point. Let me finish my
You
point.
just finished your
I'm
point.
finishing in 10
How
seconds.
long is it
10
been
seconds.
for?
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
So, ladies
My
and
God.
gentlemen, I'm going to finish my point so that we
That's
can move
fine,
on.
mate.
So, in the Gospel of Thomas, there is a saying attributed to Jesus that if you want to see,
It's gone.
2 minutes.
it says that God is not born of a woman. The Gospel of Thomas has a saying attributed to Jesus Christ. It states God is not born of a woman. Now that is a clear contradiction with the doctrine of the Trinity, because Jesus is God and he was born of a woman. So according to this verse of the Gospel of Thomas, an early version of the teachings of Jesus Christ, God is not born of a woman. He asked me a question. Show me a gospel. Show me a gospel that contradicts the doctrine of the Trinity. I gave him not only a gospel, I gave him an early gospel that contradicts it. Over to you.
Wow, finally! Right, first of all, everything he said is nonsense. Let me explain this very quickly. Modern scholarship does not affirm the idea that the Gospel of Thomas is a reliable account. Most scholarship, for some reason, like Bart Ehrman, who would also have investigated this, who is an atheist and a head of New Testament scholarship, and that includes Gospels outside of the New Testament, he would have said no, the Gospel of Thomas dates to the 2nd century, nowhere near the 1st century, and definitely not in the same vein of the source of Q, which was an oral or potentially written tradition he mentioned. Scholarship does not affirm that in its majority. He is quoting a very specific scholar to make that account. Most scholars reject it. Look that up. Look at Bart Ehrman's view. He is considered an authority on that. Second of all, notice I said to him, show me a gospel which the Qur'an could say is the Injeel that would deny the Trinitarian doctrine. The problem with this is because he's now said one, he's now buried the Qur'an, because now the Qur'an has to affirm everything that is found in the Gospel of Thomas. Oh no! There's some really spicy things in the Gospel of Thomas. Does the Qur'an affirm all those things? No! The Gnostics, would you affirm Gnostic belief? Now we know that the Quran is full of Gnostic teachings. For example, the infancy gospel, the Arabic infancy gospel of Thomas, that says that Jesus breathed life into clay birds and that he spoke from the cradle. That's not original to the Quran. That actually comes from these Gnostic gospels that came hundreds of years after the time of Jesus. This is why Christians reject them. This is why the church rejects them. Show me a single Christian group inside the church that affirmed any gospel outside of Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. He cannot do it. This is why his Quran is stuck, because it affirms the Injeel. We know what the Injeel was at that time. We know what every single Christian group in the world thought the Injeel was at that time, and yet he says that the Trinity is wrong. The Christian church believed in the Trinity. Their doctrines support it. Their text supports it. Game over.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why Chris was not addressing my point on the Gospel of Thomas. He questioned me about a gospel. I gave him the gospel. I gave him the text that contradicts the doctrine of the Trinity directly, so he doesn't have any grounds to stand on. When the Quran mentions the word Injeel, it's referring to the original. You're not listening, are you?
Sorry.
It's referring to the original. Now the question is, I asked this question. The Quran mentions the word Injeel, and even the writings of Paul mention one gospel. It doesn't mention...
There is one good news.
Sorry, no. Start again. If every time you're going to interrupt me, I'm going to start again. Start again. If I interrupt you, start again. No problem. Okay. Yeah, start again. The Quran mentions the term Injeel, and when the Quran says Injeel, you're not listening. You're not listening because you don't want.
Someone was getting my attention.
Someone
was getting my attention.
Did I listen to you?
You can still speak.
This guy, when you were speaking, he was trying to tell me things. I told him to stop because I want to listen to you. because I want to do a fair debate. You're not listening because you don't care about my arguments. The point here is you don't care about my arguments. You don't want to listen to my arguments.
Compared to me.
Time again.
How much have you spoken compared to me?
Listen to me
How
and
much
then
have you
respond.
spoken compared to
He
me?
can't help you, this guy.
I don't need any help.
He cannot
You
help
literally just said the Quran affirms the Gospel of Thomas.
Okay.
He
So
just said the
start-
Gospel affirms the Gospel of
Start
Thomas.
my time
Your
again.
argument, he never said the Quran.
Start my
He
time.
just said the
Okay.
Gospel of Thomas
Start my time.
is in the Injeel.
According to
My
your
time started
argument,
now again. Ladies and gentlemen, so the Quran mentions the term Injeel, which means one gospel. Injeel is not plural, it's a singular term. It cannot possibly be referring to, therefore, gospels. It cannot be. They are the ones imposing that on the Quran because they're blind. They have a Trinitarian lens. They have this church lens, which the Quran says is a disbelieving lens, right? So now, what is the Quran talking about when it says Injeel? The Quran is talking about the original teachings of Jesus Christ in his language. My question to him now, and watch him ignore my question. Watch him ignore my question and completely not respond to it. Where is the original Injeel of Jesus Christ, the one he himself was preaching? Not what Paul said, not what Matthew said, not what Mark or Thomas or Mary Magdalene and Judas, not these people. What Jesus himself said. Where is that Injeel? Number one, what language was it in? Where is the original Torah? Where is the original Torah of Moses? What language was it in? If you do not possess the original works of Jesus and Moses, then what gospel are you talking about? Why do we have to accept Tom, Dick, the gospel of Tom, the gospel of Dick, the gospel of Harry, the gospel of Murphy, the gospel of George, the gospel of, the list goes on, and the gospel of someone who the gospel of someone who laughs like a monkey. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, the point is, this is a joke. This is a joke. This is a joke. Seriously. Okay. The Quran is very consistent. The original Torah of Moses, the original gospel or Injeel. I won't even use the word gospel. The Quran is not saying gospel. The Quran is saying Injeel, the message of Jesus. It's called Injeel. Quran doesn't say gospel or evangelion. It says Injeel, right? So now my questions, keep them in mind and watch him ignore. Go ahead, your time. And I'm not going to interrupt.
Okay, all right. So his questions, you just have to wait for you to keep going on these monologues. Listen, he made a big mistake. He just said it talks about Injeel, not gospel. Wait, Injeel, he already affirmed, is an Arabic word for evangelion, which is Greek for gospel. He can't get out of this. And it's singular, meaning good news. So that's refuted. Second point, he said, made it very, very clear. He was like, oh, it's only the original. First of all, show me where it says original in the Quran. It doesn't say that. He adds to his deen, he does bid'ah and he innovates. Second of all, in the Arabic, and scholars will tell you this, Ma bayna yadayhi, it confirms what is in their hands. The hands of the Jews and of the Christians at the time of Muhammad. It affirms what they were reading, the Injeel and the Torah in between their hands. That is what it says in your Arabic. And there are Muslims that will tell you this because they're honest. But he can't tell you that. And even if you go into the Arabic, it will say quite clearly, it's in between their hands. Not some mysterious original thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago. The Quran makes it clear. It believes it is confirming the Injeel and the Gospel. He then made a big he went won't answer this question. What was it originally written in? The original Injeel was written in Greek, just like how you borrowed the word from Greek. Yes. So thank you very much. And he's like, oh, it can't be Greek because Jesus, are you going to say Jesus didn't speak Greek? How do you know that? Tell me that from the Quran. The Quran doesn't say that. It says that they only sent prophets to speak in their home language. This was a Hellenized region. Jesus would have spoke Greek as well as Aramaic. And just like that, his points have been refuted. He doesn't have anything else. He depends on scholarship that is fringe. Most scholars, Bar Ehrman would say the Injeel is Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. N.T. Wright would say the Injeel is Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. Gary Habermas would say that the Injeel is Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. Show me any secular atheist. Richard Carrier would say the Gospel is Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. Show me anyone else who would say, no, it's not. It's the Gospel of Barnabas, it's the Gospel of Thomas, it's the infancy Gospel of James, anything like that. Show me the scholars who support your view.
So ladies and gentlemen, did you see him ignore my questions? Yes. Did he answer my question?
I literally answered it.
Did he answer my question? Wait, start my time. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris ignored my questions because they are devastating for Christianity. When they claim something comes from Jesus and they don't know. they don't know what language Jesus spoke. Tell him to present the evidence, that we have evidence that this is the language Jesus spoke. Evidence. Remember the word evidence. When he claims Jesus spoke Aramaic or Greek, evidence. If there is no evidence, there is nothing. Likewise, what language did Moses speak? The Quran mentions the Injeel and the Torah. So the Quran cannot possibly be referring to what they possess as the four Gospels, because the Quran doesn't mention the four Gospels. The Quran mentions the Torah, the law of the Jews, and the message of Jesus Christ, which is Injeel, the original message. And now how do we find it? The Quran tells us how to find it. When the Quran says that what they possess, the Quran means that there are remnants of the truth. We still believe that whatever is contained within the Gospels and in Torah, there are remnants of truth. There are true verses there that can be found that were originally given by Moses and Jesus. We have no doubt in that. We are quite consistent. We don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. Brother, don't show me anything, I'm talking. Okay, wait. Okay. So we don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. You know why?
Why?
You know why? Because we are very consistent. We're not like these extremists. We're not like these extremists. We don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. We're not blind. We look into the Gospels and we take them seriously. The Gospel of Matthew, the Gospel of Luke. I believe when the Gospel of Mark attributes the words to Jesus Christ, that he said to a Jewish man, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord." We believe that. We believe that Jesus said that.
We believe that. Yeah, go on, Adnan.
We believe that.
You believe in the Bible,
Okay.
Adnan.
So ladies and gentlemen, do we believe other parts of the Gospels? Absolutely not, because they cannot be attributed to Jesus Christ. Time up. Go ahead.
Go on, Adnan.
Alright, first of all, his first point. Oh, how do you know that Jesus spoke Greek and Aramaic? Simple, the actual gospel accounts themselves attested that he probably did. Why? Because he spoke with people, Pontius Pilate, who was a Roman who would have only known Greek or Latin.
Latin, yes.
The best explanation for this is that Jesus also knew Greek. Simple. Second of all, it was a Hellenized region for hundreds of years. To be Hellenized means that you would have been owned by the Romans or the Greeks, and that would have meant that you would have most likely have spoken Greek. Brilliant, refuted. Then he goes, forget what I just said about all these other Gospels possibly being the Injeel. Let's pretend that actually Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are the Injeel. Yeah, we believe that some parts of it are the Injeel. He just contradicted himself. He just spent the earlier part of the debate telling you it wasn't the Injeel, and the Gospel of Thomas is the Injeel. And now he's saying, actually, they are the Injeel, but they've been corrupted. That's a different claim. He's just told you two separate things. So thank you for affirming that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are the Injeel the Quran talks about, but they have been corrupted. That's a different claim from saying that the Gospel of Thomas is actually the Injeel. Now, is this going to help him? No, it's not going to help him. Why is it not going to help him?
Why?
Because the idea that the Injeel was corrupted is not to be found in your Quran. First and foremost, it's bitter. Second of all, the idea that it's corrupted, you have to explain when it was corrupted. Was it corrupted before Muhammad, in which case Muhammad confirmed a corrupted book? Or was it corrupted after Muhammad, in which case we could check the earliest manuscripts to know what Muhammad would have known? And we can refute you because they say exactly what our Bibles say today.
Right.
Okay. He wants to stop.
Yeah,
He wants to stop?
that's fine.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, he ignored my questions again. What language? Okay, when I mentioned that, give me the evidence that Jesus spoke Greek, he has no evidence. No, probably. Remember the word probably. Okay, wait, ladies and gentlemen, he used the word probably. Probability is not evidence. Evidence is evidence. Evidence shows you that something is a fact. Okay? Probability is not an evidence. That's an insinuation. That's an inference. Okay? So understand what evidence means. So you don't know what language Jesus spoke. I assume, or I conclude rather, that you don't know what language Jesus spoke. You don't know what language Moses spoke. And if that's the case, then you cannot possibly claim to have the original. And you don't have the original. No Christian scholar, I challenge him, and watch him ignore my question again. All these scholars, Trinitarian scholars, he keeps mentioning, he keeps beating the drums. Okay, ask him now to show me one of them who ever claimed that we have the original teachings of Jesus Christ. or the original Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. If he can show me one of them who said that we have the original Gospel of John, the original Gospel of Mark, Matthew, and Luke. Okay, now, corruption. Coming to the issue of corruption. He says the Qur'an says the books of the Jews and the Christians are corrupted, and then he's contradicting himself. He's not listening to me. I never said the Gospel of Thomas is the Injeel the Qur'an is referring to. He asked me a question. Show me a gospel where the Trinity is denied, and I showed him the Gospel of Thomas. That's all I was saying. The Qur'an doesn't mention any gospel by name. The Qur'an doesn't even acknowledge their authenticity. The Qur'an states that whatever they possess, there are remnants of the teachings of Moses and Jesus there. Even though they are corrupted, the Qur'an makes a very categorical claim in chapter 2, verse 79, that the books the Jews have written with their own hands, and then they claim these books are from God, are actually not from God. Actually, they are not from God. So what books? The scripture of the Jewish people, right? So the Qur'an, what is the Qur'an saying? What is the Qur'an saying then? Where is the contradiction? There's no contradiction. Okay, time is up.
Okay, so he made a few points.
Answer my questions.
First of all, he said probability is not evidence. I love that. That's a great soundbite. If it's more probable than not that something is true, is that evidence you should believe it? It is. It's not. If it's more probable than not that something is true, that's not evidence you should believe it.
No.
That's amazing. He believes it. He believes
evidence,
in things that are not probable.
You never have probabilities when there's evidence.
Reset my time. Reset my time. Reset my time.
You're a human being?
Reset my time.
Is it probable that you're a human being?
Reset my time.
Is it probable?
No,
is it probable that you're a human being?
He said, if I interrupted him, he would restart it.
Yeah, start again.
Now
no
restart it. Don't interrupt me.
Fair enough. So don't play these games.
Right, so there you are then. So, first of all, he's wrong there. The evidence I gave is strong evidence that yes, he probably did. The area was Greek, it was heavily Hellenized, and he spoke to Pontius Pilate, who would have likely only known Greek or Latin. There you are. Second point, he was like, watch him avoid this question. Show me one scholar that says that we still have the original manuscripts, which I'm guessing is what you're referring to.
I didn't say that.
No, you said the original Gospel of John.
Yes.
Again, restart it. You interrupted again.
Again.
Here we go.
But don't lie on me. Don't deliberately do this. Don't lie deliberately.
Are you still speaking over me?
Gospel.
Are you
original gospel?
Right, the original gospel.
Yes.
Did I ever say that I have made a case here for the original Gospels preserved as manuscripts?
No.
Nothing. Why? Because the Gospels preserved on manuscripts are written on palimpsest. No, sorry, not palimpsest. Papyrus. Papyrus is dried leaves.
Yes.
Papyrus degrades over about 10, 20, 30 years.
Right.
We would no academic scholar, Bart Ehrman, N.T. Wright, Daniel Wallace, Richard Carrier would ever expect to have the originals. Likewise, we don't have the originals of the Quranic manuscripts, even though they were written on vellum, which is a form of parchment.
That's right.
So, refuted there. I did answer your question, Adnan. Now, let me get back to this.
You diverted.
So, now he keeps trying to say, oh, the Quran makes it very clear. In chapter 2, was it 78, 79? I believe it was, or was it 78 or 79, Adnan? You can tell me that one.
Chapter 5.
No, he quoted something. 279. I think it was 279. Let me read it out. So woe to those who distort the scripture with their own hands. Then say, this is from Allah, seeking a fleeting gain. So woe to them for what their hands have written, and woe to them for what they have earned. Did that verse say either the Torah or the Injeel have been corrupted by the Jews or the Christians?
No! Stop it!
All it says is that a group of them wrote something and claimed it was the Torah or the Injeel.
Right.
That's a massive difference. He's being deceptive. He's run out of arguments. He now has to take things out of context. I challenge you to show me a clearer verse. After all, does the Quran not say it is a clear book? If it is, he can show me a verse where it says that the Injeel and the Torah have been corrupted. Show me that, or is it just bid'ah in your religion? Give me all my time.
Okay. I'll start with the last point first. He said the Quran says a group of them corrupted the books. Show me where the Quran says that.
Show me that.
Show me. Wait. You see, these people, when they say something, never take it for granted. Always question. Always break down their claims.
So woe to those.
Those who? Those
Does it
who?
say all?
Okay, read.
Does it say all?
You said group. A group is a small.
It's called paraphrasing.
Wait. Don't lie in front to my face about our scripture. Don't lie. Don't lie. It's not going to help you. I'm gonna take you on every single word you mentioned. By the way, be careful. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my time. Okay, start my time. Okay, so I just caught a lie. Okay, these people, when they read our scripture, they spin it. Every time they read it, they want to see what they want to see. And there's a reason for that. Because they want to misguide their people. They don't want to show them that their scriptures are corrupted. Am I saying this? Am I saying that the Gospels have been corrupted? Their own scholars nodding. He's nodding, he's agreeing. One of their scholars, a believing Christian, a Trinitarian, his name is Bruce Metzger, the very teacher of Bart Ehrman. Bart Ehrman apostatized from Christianity when he saw all these problems. He left Christianity. Okay, Bruce Metzger was a believing Christian, and he wrote a book. He authored a book titled The Text of the New Testament. It's Reception, Corruption and Restoration. Reception, corruption and restoration. The title of the book is telling you the New Testament was corrupted. The Muslims don't have to say this. Don't come to the Quran and try to use the Quran to support your corrupted scriptures. The Quran will never support that. The Quran mentions the Injeel and the Torah and its traces wherever they can be found. The traces of the Torah and the traces of the Injeel can be found not only in the four Gospels but beyond the four Gospels. As we clearly discussed, the infancy Gospel of James, for example, it confirms the Quran. We accept that's true. You are blinded. Your church, your Catholic, pagan church, chose these four documents for you as the Gospels and rejected the others. And not only that you disbelieve the church, you are now, for some reason, taking for this. There's a reason for this. This noise. Watch, when he speaks, it's going to stop. Just watch. I want you to, everyone. So, ladies and gentlemen, time up. Watch.
Okay, so first of all, let me make it clear. What he was trying to conflate is the term corruption, meaning a change of text, with corruption, meaning a change of meaning. He wants to conflate those. So when Bruce Metzger writes about corruption, he's referring to the text. When he mentions in the Quran that the Injeel is corrupted, he's trying to add to the Quran, saying the Injeel in meaning was corrupted. Because his own Quran in Surah 4, ayah 157, says that Jesus was never crucified. That's a change in meaning. So the word corruption to him has to mean corrupted meaning. Bruce Metzger, Bart Ehrman use a scholarly term, corruption, to mean a text is changed. But you don't mean that. He means the meaning has changed. But his Quran never says that. Again, show me a verse where it says the Torah and the Injeel, the meaning is corrupted. Show me it anywhere. He can't. Show me anywhere.
My time.
No, not yet. So in his time, he will show me that. Notice he hasn't answered my question, but I've answered all of his. He's conflating scholarship to confuse you. The point of the matter is simple. Mabayna Yadehi in the Quran is Surah 5, ayah 48, confirms what was between the hands of the Jews and the Christians. And that is affirmed in Islamic scholarship, it's affirmed in secular scholarship. That means that when Muslims say the scripture before, or they say the original, or they add words like corrupted, they're committing bid'ah. They're innovating in their religion because their religion never says that. If you want proof of this, look at the earliest tafsir. Look at things like Al-Tabari. Look at those who mention this, and they make it clear that yes, this is affirming the Injeel that was with the Christians.
So yes, he does.
That is your time.
Yes, he does. That.
And even if that's the case, ladies and gentlemen, if that's the case, he's claiming the Injeel that is with the Christians. Which Injeel? Because Christians were not homogeneous. They were not following one Injeel. To this day, the Christians are not unanimous on scripture. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church has 83 books. The Catholic Bible has 73 books. The Protestant Bible has 66 books. So what scripture? Which Injeel? So when you say the Quran affirms the scriptures in the hands of the Christians, you are not united yourselves. How can the Quran affirm something you yourselves are not united upon? So what kind of stupid claim is this? Okay, clearly they are desperate. They want to use the Quran to reach out to the Muslims. Look, your book confirms our scripture. It is not corrupted. But their own scholars are saying it's corrupted. So the way he spun the whole topic, he said, that's a scholarly work which talks about corruption. Okay, but the Quran is not talking about the corruption. Where does the Quran actually explain which corruption is the Quran talking about? The Quran is not talking about the meaning. The Quran is actually talking about textual corruption. The corruption of the words. Why? Because the Quran in chapter 2, verse 79 clearly states, those who write books with their own hands, and then they say these books are from God. Woe be unto what they write, woe be unto what they earn. What is the Quran talking about? The Quran is talking about actual writings, what they are writing. Because the word yaktubuna in the Arabic language means to write, physically write. And what are they corrupting? Kitab. Kitab is scripture, because these people are called Ahlul Kitab. The people of the scripture, people of the book. Which book? The Torah and the Injeel. So the Quran makes it very clear their books are corrupted. But then the Quran says there are elements of truth. There are elements of truth in there, and we accept them. We accept them. So we are not a bunch of extremists.
Okay, so he's trying to say something hilarious. He said, look, they don't even agree on how many books are in their scripture. Notice he's conflating the Injeel with the Bible. Again, my previous debate opponent made the same mistake. He's still doing it. Name me a single church that believes in any other than Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John as the Injeel, as the gospel. Name me any.
I will.
Go on, the Protestants. No. Let me give it time. The Protestants, what do they say the gospel is? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The Catholics, what do they say the gospel is? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The Orthodox, what do they say the gospel is? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The Oriental Church, what do they say it is? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The Syrian Church, every church that ever been agrees on this. He has to go outside the gospel to make his point. You've been found out, you've been called out. Then he goes, it's so different. How can the Quran say that something has been corrupted when they themselves don't even know how many books it is? That's amazing. Ubay ibn Ka'b had 116 surahs of his Quran. Abdullah ibn Masud had 111 surahs of his Quran. How can the Quran affirm something that you don't even know what it is? Oh, that's embarrassing. And he knows. You've just buried yourself again, because the Quran went through changes. The Quran has been changed because different master reciters of the Quran, Ubay ibn Ka'b and Abdullah ibn Masud, had different surahs in the Quran. And Uthman standardized it and burned the rest, according to his tradition. So his own arguments have failed him. He says Surah 2, Ayah 79, it says they corrupted it. No, it doesn't. It says that some, or many, it doesn't say all, they wrote a book.
Can I request we move the cameras on this side? This guy has been sent by someone. Yeah. Sorry guys, keep coming forward. I want to walk away from the noise. Because I want this to be a very fruitful discussion. Come. Sorry guys. Sorry. You can move this as well. Okay, can we move there? You almost in there.
Huh? You paused, yeah. Oh, I've got 4 seconds.
Okay, so his time is up.
4 seconds.
4 seconds.
In 4 seconds, the very criteria that Adnan referenced. Did I drop something?
No. It's all right. So we stepped on a branch.
Oh, okay. The very criteria Adnan referenced destroys his Quran if he takes it the same way for the Bible.
Okay, great. So the point, I forgot the points you raised in this.
Okay, so my first point is that you reaffirmed Surah 279 as corrupting the text.
Yes.
I said there's no support in that verse. It says they have corrupted it.
Okay.
Right? Only that some of them, or many of them. Right.
Okay, first of all, he talked about the Quran and its alleged corruption, and I talked about the Bible and its corruption. It's not alleged. In the case of the Bible, it's unanimous. The Jews and the Christians, they are unanimous, their scholarship, that the Bible is a corrupt text. It is an altered text. We do not have the original writings of Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, let alone Jesus Christ and Moses. Okay, we don't have that. This is a unanimous opinion among scholars. I will now challenge him to make it easy for us, instead of me going around the world trying to prove to him and to you that the Quran is not corrupt. There is no comparison between the Bible and the Quran. There is no, you know why they drag the Quran into the discussion? They are trying to make the Bible look less corrupt. That's the idea. The strategy is that once we attack the Quran, the Bible will start to look a bit more stable. Okay, but that doesn't work because there's no comparison. Now I will ask him to bring out one serious scholar, an academic who has published with Western universities, okay, a reputable scholar whom the world takes seriously, okay, Quran scholars, one of them who said the Quran is corrupt. It is not what Muhammad actually delivered to his companions. One of them. Okay, I'm not talking about Muslim scholars. Okay, I am talking about Christian, atheist, or non-Muslim scholars in general. Okay, one. Ask him to put the same question to me. Do scholars say that the Bible is corrupt? I will give you the names. And the names will not stop. Okay, so where is the comparison? What games are you playing? Why would you play these games? Why would you even go there when you know there is no comparison? So I'm going to ignore that. Okay, or unless he can bring a scholar with a name and his credentials, and then because Bruce Metzger has published with Cambridge University. The one I mentioned, he published his book through the Cambridge University. This book, the text of the New Testament, Reception, Corruption and Restoration, was published by the Cambridge University. Now.
Yep, all good. Right, so he has made a challenge to me. He has said, can you quote any actual Western scholars who believe the Quran has changed? Reputable. Here we go. Patricia Crone, Michael Cook, Fred Donner, Nicholas Sinai. I have named 4. Nicholas Sinai studies at Oxford University.
Well, I'm listening. I'm very interested.
And he has pointed out quite clearly that there is at least 10 accepted qira'ats according to the traditions in Islam. The qira'ats.
Wait. Did you understand my question?
You said changes. Changes.
What does corrupt mean?
The word corruption,
right,
used by any reputable scholar. Wait. We can start your time again. No problem. Understand my question so that you can handle it. Show me any reputable scholar who used the word corruption for the Quran in their academic writings, like the Christians did for their own scripture. Over to you. Okay. No, any.
Okay. He wants a very specific criteria. That isn't going to work well for him. The point is that what he understands to be corruption is textual variance. That's what he means by corruption. So scholars don't tend to use that word. They tend to use the word textual variance.
They have used it for the Bible.
Michael Cook,
used it for the Bible.
Patricia Cook, they use it for the Bible.
Why?
Because it's also, you can, if you want to, say the text is corrupted.
So why are they so merciful in the Quran?
Because they don't want to upset certain people.
No.
Yes.
No.
What happened to Patricia Crone when she started to highlight critical scholarship of the Quran? She got death threats. And how do we know this? Because she was public and she said, look, I had death threats made against me. Michael Cook worked with her. Same. The point of this is this. Even despite that, they will say in nicer language, textual variance. I've given you 4 scholars. Fred Donner, Patricia Crone, Michael Cook, Nicholas Sinai. One of those works at Oxford today, Nicholas Sinai. He's written a book called A Critical Study of Textual Variance, I believe it's called, I'm paraphrasing. You can read this book and he tells you quite clearly that there have been things that were once considered a part of the Quran that are no longer a part of the Quran. An example is Surah 33, Ayah 6, which according to some codexes, I believe Abdullah ibn Masud, one of the greatest master reciters for the Quran according to Muhammad, who had memorized the Quran.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, he mentioned 4 scholars, Patricia Crone, Michael Cook, Fred Donner, and Nicholas Sinai. 3 of them are not scholars of the Quran. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Patricia Crone is not a scholar of the Quran. She's a scholar of early Islam. Okay. Michael Cook was also a scholar of early Islam and later on he moved into other fields. Fred Donner specifically is a scholar of early Islamic expansion. He's a historian. So try not to use names and think people don't know. This is my field. History is my field, and I have studied these words. Okay? So don't throw names and thinking people are not going to catch them. Only one person he mentioned, who is a scholar of the Quran, Nikolai Sinai from Oxford. And you know what he said about the Quran's text? Do you know?
Yeah,
have you read his article? 2 articles.
I literally quoted the book.
Okay, you don't. Have you read?
Have you read the book?
Wait, yes.
Have you read the book? What does he say about variance?
I'm asking you. I'm asking you something. Have you read his 2 articles on the canonization of the Quran?
I believe so, yes.
You have read both articles?
I'm aware of them, yes. And
have you read them? Have you read them?
Not scholarly study.
Why did you use the name? I have read the books.
I've read his book.
I have read the books I've mentioned.
All right, so first of all, wait, I'm going to address that because you've made something up here.
Okay.
Patricia Crone
you
is
can
considered to be an absolute legend in the field of Islamic studies. Why? Because she demonstrated that the early idea that through trade you can validate the location of Mecca.
Name 2 books of Patricia Crone.
Hagerism and
wait,
Meccan trade.
Wait. You just said that. Who said that?
What you said? Listen.
Okay.
Listen.
Wait.
Listen.
Let's now. It's moving into conversation now.
Do your own scholars say that the Quran is variance?
Wait.
Do your own scholars, according to history, say the Quran is variance?
Wait.
Just tell me.
Wait. Our scholars have extensively written in the Quran in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th century.
Okay, history of
we know
Al-Tabari.
exactly. You're not telling us anything new about
What
the
does
Quran.
history of
We
Al-Tabari
have manuscripts.
say?
We have manuscripts from the time of the companions of Prophet Muhammad, carbon dated.
Do you?
Carbon dated. Yes, we
Birmingham
do.
portfolio.
You're blind.
The Birmingham
You're blind.
portfolio.
Trinity makes you blind.
The Birmingham
You're
portfolio.
blind. Trinity
Birmingham
makes you
portfolio.
blind. Wait.
That's potentially
Wait,
dated
brother.
before Muhammad.
Are you listening?
I am. I'm asking
We have
answers. You're not giving me
carbon
them.
dated manuscripts going back to
name
the
one.
time of Birmingham parchment.
Right, that dates actually potentially before Muhammad.
Okay,
that could demonstrate that the Quran was written before Muhammad.
Wait. Do you know how carbon dating works? You're not talking to ignorant people.
Are you a scholar of carbon dating?
I am
not,
scholar? But I read
then
scholars.
Why are you talking about it,
I read scholars.
I read scholars.
Okay, wait. Do you know how carbon dating works?
I trust the scholars.
No. You just said that
scholars.
parchment.
Are you aware of the study they did at
Your scholar is J.
Oxford?
Smith, right?
Are you
Your scholar is
Did
J.
I
Smith.
mention J. Smith? Patricia Crone,
If
Michael
J.
Cook,
Smith is your
Nicholas
scholar-
Sinai, Fred Donner, Arthur Jeffrey.
Okay, wait.
I could keep going.
Wait.
Wait. Dr. Yasser Qali talks about this. I could talk about as many people. I could quote Muslims who tell you about this.
I'm asking you a question.
Right.
You just claimed the Birmingham parchment
Yes.
predates Muhammad.
Potentially
wait, you just
predates.
No, wait.
Yes.
Now you're saying potentially. You're adding
I
potentially.
literally said potentially.
Okay, wait.
You know it predates Uthman.
Do you know how carbon dating?
Do you know?
Do you know how carbon dating works?
The Oxford study that they did on the carbon dating of the Birmingham portfolio, it's 3 surahs, so 18, 19 and 20. They did this study and they found that the range given is about 568 to about 645. The problem with
So he knows about it.
I know, I just told you.
So he
Whoa,
asked me earlier.
days.
He asked me earlier.
Adnan,
which
you don't
one?
know this.
He asked me earlier if you are all witnesses to this. He asked me which one.
Because I don't
And
know
now
if you
he's
know
giving me
it.
the date.
I don't
so
know
what
if
dates?
you know
Wait. So you know about it.
I didn't know
so
you
we
know
have the
about
Quran
it.
from the time
Days.
potentially.
This is
I'm going
childish.
to
It's
use
so
his
childish.
language. Potentially,
Yes.
we have the Quran from the time of Muhammad and his companions.
Potentially,
we
but
do.
also
Yes?
potentially,
Yes?
if you listen,
What is the latest date given to that particular
645.
645.
When did Uthman standardize the Quran?
Okay, good.
When did
good.
Uthman standardize the
Good,
Quran?
good question.
Yep.
645 is the latest date.
Yep.
Yes?
According to the Oxford study.
According-
Yep.
And do you know how many companions of Prophet Muhammad are alive at the time?
Why is that relevant to what I just asked you?
Wait. When did Prophet Muhammad die?
No, it's-
When? Wait.
I just
what date? Chris, are you sincere in this?
632.
632.
When was Uthman?
So this,
when was it? You
this-
tell me the date.
Okay, the latest
I don't
date.
think you know.
Chris,
When was Uthman around? And why did he author the recension of the Quran?
Wait.
Tell me the date.
calm down. This is my field.
Tell
so
me the
I'm
date, right, tell me the date.
Okay. Which date?
The date of which Uthman collected the Quranic manuscripts and he wrote his own copy in the Qurayshi dialect and he sent it out to the major cities.
656. Okay, 656.
I don't think
no,
that's correct. I
no,
think
no.
652.
Wait. Yeah. Okay, no problem. Now,
You're
now,
in 652.
no. Wait.
You're mistaken
Wait.
there.
Wait. This date, 645. How many companions of Prophet Muhammad are alive?
I don't know. You tell me.
Thousands.
Okay.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands.
And yet they
Okay.
couldn't
Okay.
recite the Quran from
Wait. Thousands.
They couldn't recite the Quran
That
from
parchment. That parchment. Is there a word or a verse that is different to our modern copies of the Quran?
Yes, according to your histories. So, for example.
No.
Can
That
I answer?
parchment. No.
Can I answer?
Don't try to be
Can I
clever.
answer?
Don't try to be
don't
clever.
be clever about
Don't
it.
be clever
Don't
about
give an
it.
intelligent
Stick
answer.
to that parchment. Stick to that parchment.
Which-
that parchment,
right.
which is from the lives of the companions of Prophet Muhammad, whatever we possess in that, is there a word or a sentence different to the modern copies of the
There are
Quran?
variants in it compared to what we have today.
Okay,
Yes.
wait.
And of course,
Show me.
it makes no sense.
I'm
It makes
waiting.
no sense.
I read it on video. Go and watch
You
my
read
video.
it on video?
I put it up,
Yeah.
and I read word by word,
Right.
and I
Which Qur'an was it written in?
Wait. Try not to be clever about this,
Don't be-
man.
don't be
It's not
clever.
going to help
Don't
you.
be clever,
It's
huh?
not- it's not
Don't
good.
be clever,
It's not-
huh?
You know what Qira'at is?
A different reading of
No,
the Quran.
Qira'at is a style of reading. And
Yes, it's a reading then. It's a reading then.
You know what a
Oh,
Qira'at
this
is?
is bad. Oh, it's tomato. Do you
Yeah.
believe that?
Yes.
Do you believe? Okay,
Yes.
let's
He's
read our
right.
Fatiha.
Tomato and
Let's read our
tomato.
Fatiha. No, let's read our Fatiha. Let's fact check you. Because I know for a fact, according to the British Foundation, you're totally wrong.
No.
They've put up a book.
What
The
claim are you
British
making? Before you make a claim,
Let me make the claim. Let me make the claim.
Claim.
There's no point in interrupting me before I actually
Claim.
say it.
What is your claim?
The British Foundation of the 10 Qur'an of the Noble Quran.
Okay.
According to the British Foundation. So our Fatiha.
What is your claim before
I'm getting
you're
there.
giving
Look
the
at there.
evidence? You're giving the
Oh,
evidence. Claim. Make the claim and then give the evidence.
There's differences in meaning. That is my claim.
Okay.
Let me back it up.
So who's
Now,
disputing that? Who's disputing that?
You literally said the
Who
Qur'an
disputed
was
that?
tomato, tomato.
Wait. Who
You
disputed
literally
that?
said it.
Where do the
I
Qur'an-
said to you,
Wait,
is it
wait.
tomato, tomato? And you're, yes, yes it is.
Yeah. Okay.
You're
Is he
lying.
wrong? Is he wrong? Is he
In
wrong about
some
the Qur'an?
instances,
Okay.
but in other
In some
instances,
instances,
in
yes.
other instances, there's meanings, it changes in meaning.
Do you have any brain cells?
What does this say?
Do you
What
even
does
know
this
where
say?
we're going with this conversation? Chris,
I can't believe it.
Chris,
Are you denying there's
can-
differences in
No,
meaning?
I'm not.
There are
Talk to
differences
me.
in meaning.
Talk
Thank
to me.
you. No,
First of all,
no, he's saying there's no differences in meaning.
Okay.
Are you saying there's no differences in
Okay.
meaning?
Okay.
Go on,
Let's go step by step.
address this man.
Let's go step by step. Okay. That parchment, Birmingham parchment,
Yeah.
that's from the Mingana collection in the University of Birmingham. Is it different in any word? Are you listening?
Right.
Word or a verse from modern copies of the Quran in its consonantal ductus, in its writing?
sure.
Wait.
Let me-
Are you listening?
I want to answer you.
Yeah. So that we can make it fruitful. Don't spin it. Answer my question directly.
No, he said, is there any difference in the consonantal razim? And that's actually key.
I
The
didn't say- okay, wait,
You,
are you-
literally-
are you-
you said
yeah,
that. You
okay.
said that. Now, the reason
Well,
why
you know
that's
what
key.
consonantal ductus is?
Let me answer you. Jeez. The reason that's important is because he knows as well as I know that the Arabic language at the time, in terms of a written text, had no diacritical marks.
Yes.
There were no dots or critical marks you could make to differentiate.
So we're gonna move
possible-
step by step.
I'm just giving context.
yeah.
So there's no way you can differentiate that. Now,
No,
the Qira'at,
no,
let me
wait,
finish.
wait.
Oh
You're not
my
answering
days.
my question.
I literally
You're not
am.
answering my question.
Listen.
My
Okay.
question is what? My question is what? Is there any difference in word and a sentence from that parchment and our modern copies of the
The
Quran?
modern copies of the Quran are not just the consonantal razim, are they?
Wait. Are you listening to my question?
I just answered
Are
you.
you listening?
Just
Why are you
answered
struggling
you.
to answer my question? Because you're a spin doctor.
Is the
Because
Quran
you're a liar.
just a
You're a liar.
consonantal razim?
That's why.
Is the Quran
Okay, you
just a
are a
consonantal
Trinitarian
razim?
spin doctor. Now
Right.
answer my question. Is there a difference in word and sentences when it comes to the content of the Birmingham parchment and our modern copy? Birmingham
Yeah, right.
parchment. Wait. Birmingham parchment is from the time of the companions of Prophet Muhammad. He has agreed already.
Or
Potentially.
before.
Potentially.
It's before Uthman, so that's already your Islamic
potentially.
history out the
Potentially.
window.
Okay. It cannot be earlier. So
Yeah,
it
it's
has to be
happened
later.
before Uthman.
Okay.
Happened before
Okay.
Uthman.
Okay. So only extremist Trinitarians like him
What's
and
this-
his
why
teachers
are you letting me
will
extremist?
claim something like
Ad hominem.
earlier
Ad
earlier
hominem.
than Muhammad. Only a
It's
scholar.
before
Okay,
Uthman.
wait. This what you said earlier. What you said
Were
earlier.
the dates before
wait,
Uthman?
Wait.
Were the dates
wait.
before Uthman?
Can you produce again? You know, you're wasting my time and my brain cells for no reason. That's why.
don't think you have
you know
brain
why I
cells.
don't like
Come
talking
on.
to why I don't like talking
You've
to
already called me an
disingenuous people.
And now
You know
you
why I
call
don't
me
like talking to them? Because they deliberately spin
Am I an
facts
extremist?
to make a point.
Yeah, the Muslims and I say I'm
Yeah,
extremist.
okay.
Am I extremist?
That's my view.
Yes,
If you
you
attack
are.
my,
You-
how much? Go on, give me, tell me,
Okay.
tell me.
You're an extremist, I'll tell you why.
Go on.
Because
You don't like the truth, do you?
no, absolutely. It's got nothing to do with the truth. The
Ah, it's
truth-
got nothing to do
the
with the truth.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's we will check it.
you
We'll
are.
check it right now.
Right,
We'll
check
see.
whether or not the dates are predate Uthman.
Were the New Testament manuscripts corrupted?
Oh, now it's going to the
Corrupted.
Bible.
Wait.
Now it's
We
going
will
to the
see
Bible.
if you're an
is it?
extremist or not.
No, it's
This
the
answer.
Bible. Quick, go to the Bible. It's
Where-
the Muslim shuffle. Do
Okay.
a little shuffle because you cannot answer the fact
I
that the
will.
Birmingham portfolios
Okay, I will.
predate Uthman. What
Chris,
that means,
Chris, am
what
I
that
going anywhere?
means, let me tell
Chris.
you, what that means is that The first standardized copies existed before Uthman made his recension. That means that your standard Islamic narrative is false, according to the Oxford study on carbon dating.
Which is what?
Done.
What is
Refute that. Refute that.
Okay. Just repeat that.
The fact is that the dates given by the Oxford study, 568 to 645, predate the Uthmanic recension. In other words, there are copies of the Continental Razim that are in Surah 18, 19 and 20 that predate what Uthman did when he standardized the material.
Brilliant.
That means that there are pre-Uthmanic Qurans.
Brilliant.
That goes against the standard Islamic narrative.
So impressed.
Your scholars and your historians and they've all lied to you.
You've finished your question. Now let me
Now
respond.
answer that.
Okay. I'm so impressed by Chris's intelligence that I really don't have words to answer his question.
I thought
okay.
not. Funny enough.
This is why.
Funny enough, he doesn't have much to say about
This
it.
is why I believe he's disingenuous. He's not sincere in this. He's not honest in this.
Why am I not sincere?
I'll tell you why. Notice
how you're
Do you
attacking me,
know? Do you know how carbon dating works?
Oh, jeez. I just quote scholars.
Okay. What are
Are you an expert?
Wait.
Did you go to like the school of like radiocarbonology?
Why do you have to jump?
Because it's an
Let's
attack
make it a
on the
conversation.
man. I don't want to insult. I don't want to attack you. I just want to attack the
Wait,
argument.
okay.
He's asking you a question, man. That's it.
Chris,
I've already answered it.
what
It's a
is the
pointless-
dating for?
The point is.
Wait.
Listen
What?
again.
Everyone will-
And you'll notice
You
he's
will
doing.
see what I'm
he's
talking
doing the
about.
Mansour
What is
trick
the dating for?
because he cannot
What
address
is-
my point.
Wait, I will. What is
then
the
do it then.
What is the dating
then
for?
Then answer what I've said.
What is the dating for?
The dating is to give an approximation, a range of when this particular, the manuscript in which it was written on, was likely came into being. That's what it's for.
Okay.
Not the ink.
Repeat that.
Not the ink, the manuscript.
Not the ink.
The manuscript.
Okay. Now you see, that's why I asked him. Do you know how
You didn't
carbon
know that,
dating
did you?
works?
You didn't know that.
Right, okay.
I had to tell you.
You think I didn't know that?
You didn't know
You
anything.
think I didn't know
You're
that?
waiting for me to tell you.
I know.
And then you'll go.
Wait, I don't know a lot of things, but this
Oh,
I knew.
that's humble.
This I knew.
Yeah, do
I
you know
don't
what
know a
the
lot of
Islamic
things.
essential
Of
is?
course,
Anyway.
I'm a student. Okay, I don't know a lot of things.
I thought you
This
said
I
you
knew.
studied.
This I
Oh,
knew.
right,
This I knew.
right.
Okay, now, if the carbon dating is for the animal that was killed, okay, how does that prove your point? Because we're not claiming that the writing is.
That's not my point.
Okay,
I just mentioned
we're not
it as a-
claiming that the writing of that parchment represents that date. We are claiming, actually the scientists are claiming, that that animal where the parchment came from, where the vellum, the skin came from, was killed in between these two dates, 568 to 645. That's when the animal was killed. It is very likely the animal was killed earlier. They produced a parchment. The parchment was kept in a store somewhere for 10, 20, 30 years, and then later on it was used. This is what the scholars and the scientists are saying. The writing can be later. The writing can be later. So there goes your point and your argument on its face. So stop lying, stop playing games. Okay, now challenge what I said.
Now, here's what's interesting.
Yeah.
According to his perspective, in Saudi Arabia, producing a manuscript out of vellum, out of parchment, which is an incredibly expensive material, gets produced from a dead animal, and then it sits in a cupboard somewhere for decades. No one bothers to do anything with it, and then finally they write on it. No, scholars unanimously would reject that view because we know full well.
Scholars, which one? Which ones?
Nicholas Sinai,
And
for
quote.
example.
Okay,
Patricia Crone, for example.
produce it.
Listen. My days.
Sinai.
Wait, you threw it out.
Crone.
You threw it out there.
No, ask me for the quote.
Listen.
Ask me for the
Listen.
quote.
Listen.
I'm not going to use names without evidence.
Listen.
Did I
Listen, I'm
produce
on point.
anything? Did I mention any scholar without evidence? Without evidence? Without producing evidence?
Listen,
Yes.
you haven't mentioned any scholars.
So don't
Listen.
throw scholars.
Oh, don't mention
throw
scholars.
I'm
Oh,
not-
no.
Yes.
Listen,
So when
the
you
point
quote a
of the-
scholar, tell me what he said. What
Listen,
did he say?
my
What
point
did he say?
is
What did he
this.
say? No. What did Nikolai Sinai say?
I am saying.
What
the
did Nikolai Sinai say about this parchment?
That the Birmingham portfolios
Yes,
are dated between this range.
Okay.
According
What
to
did
the
he
Oxford
say?
study.
What did he say?
He's quoting the Oxford study.
Okay. Can you produce it?
The Oxford study, yeah.
Okay.
You can check it now.
Okay.
Get your phone
and
out.
what does it say?
That the dates
What did
are
it say? Who disputed
five,
that? Well, who
wait.
disputed that?
You
I'm
did.
agreeing with you.
No,
That the parchment,
right.
the dates are
Right.
between 568 to 645.
That's right,
I'm
yeah.
not disputing that.
Right.
So what games are you playing?
My point is that it makes you need to give your evidence because the burden of proof is on you that they wouldn't have used that. Very
I don't need to give any
material.
evidence.
No
Western scholars are
There
saying
are no evidence.
okay.
No
wait,
evidence.
I'm gonna
give
play.
Me scholars.
I'm gonna wait.
Give me any evidence.
Okay.
Notice he demands scholars for me.
Wait.
He can just say it and float it out there.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna play it right now.
Play what?
Wait,
I don't want a video.
No.
Should I start playing videos?
Should
I start playing producer Chrome videos?
Okay. People.
The point is
Wait.
the dating predates Uthman. The Uthmanic recension in 652. That is
Okay,
after
ladies and
645.
gentlemen, here is a documentary produced by the BBC on this very
The
question.
BBC.
And then there are scholars from the University of Birmingham. And let's see what they have to say. I'm going to repeat the words.
I don't want to watch videos. Why are you bringing videos? Why are you picking the BBC?
Why are you crying?
Oh,
can you repeat the words?
Mate,
can you repeat the words?
No idea.
Can you repeat
I
the
don't
words?
want to watch your video.
No, don't watch it.
You don't know.
Just
You're
repeat.
just showing me videos.
It's only 2 minutes. It's
don't-
only 2 minutes. We've
It's
been
only 2
on.
minutes,
We've been
so-
going on for 1 hour. So let's.
You've lost
What?
it.
What are they saying?
The Injeel, you've
Wait.
been on. You've
I'm going to
conceded
repeat
that
the
point.
words.
He has to get a video up in the middle of the debate. Should we get a loudspeaker system for you as well?
BBC produced a documentary.
Oh,
on
not the
this very
BBC, that
parchment. On this very
amazing
parchment,
authority.
a copy of the Quran, a fragment of the Quran we're discussing. So, people tend to listen to white people because they come across more intelligent and more learned. So let's listen to white people.
What do you have against white people?
I don't have anything against white
Then
people.
why did you answer
I don't say
white people?
anything. I'm saying people tend to find them more interesting.
Right.
So I'm not saying anything.
People then.
So
I'm not interested in race.
There is a white
For some reason
scholar
you guys are.
to use the term for the masses. Okay, he's going to say something very interesting now. This guy. Okay, who is he? He's Professor David Thomas. Okay, Christianity and Islam professor, University of Birmingham. Right? What is he saying? Let's hear his words. The person who actually wrote it may well have known the Prophet Muhammad.
I'm not denying.
Okay, you're not denying it.
I
You're
said
not
it
denying
came before Uthman.
Okay.
Why have you
You're
not
not denying
understood
it.
it?
Okay.
Did I not say it was
Okay,
written before
okay.
Uthman? Did I not say it's written before
wait.
Uthman?
You see, wait.
Did that address my point?
Wait.
No,
No.
that was a total lot of
No.
waffle.
No.
Did not address anything I said.
Okay, then I'll stop the quote and I won't
Yeah,
play it.
don't play something that didn't address my point.
Oh, good.
Thank you
so
for
now that
wasting
you
people's
accept
time.
on camera that you are willing to accept the
possibility
that
it
a companion.
also could predate Muhammad.
Wait.
It all-
I know it's painful. I know it's very painful. It can.
You've
Talking to
lost
me
it.
for a Christian
Mental.
can be very painful. I know. Okay. Now that you have accepted the possibility
I never
of a
denied the
companion
possibility.
of Prophet Muhammad
I've told you the
writing that
case.
particular parchment
I
found
never
in
said
Birmingham,
that.
that's why, hence my question. That copy, which may well have been written by a companion
Or
of
before
Prophet
Muhammad was
peace
in
be
the
upon
cave,
him,
or
peace
at
be
least
upon
before
him.
Uthman.
Okay, peace be upon him. I question about it. Is there a word or a sentence different in that copy to what we find in our copies today?
Wait, that is a lie. That is a lie. Why?
Wait.
Because that copy at the time was a consonantal rasim. No diacritical marks. No
okay.
dot for dot.
Okay.
However,
Okay.
the Quran you have today does.
Okay, let me
So
rephrase.
technically,
Let me rephrase.
yes, there is a difference.
Okay.
And he knows
Okay,
there is.
okay.
And he knows there is.
Let me
I caught you
let me
out.
rephrase my question.
Don't say
Let
things
me
like
rephrase
that.
because you're so simple.
Simple.
And you're a simpleton, yeah?
Wow. The consonantal rasim is a simple.
Okay.
You are
The
deceiving the
words,
ummah.
as they are transcribed. Wait. The words as they are transcribed, because you're a simpleton, so I'm gonna make it simple now.
More attacks
the words,
on me,
the
and less on my
words,
arguments.
the words, the way they are transcribed, and in that copy, which may well have been written by a companion of Prophet Muhammad, according to a professor from the University of Birmingham, and you now, okay,
Or it could have been before, or it was at least before Uthman. I'll
I
keep
know
doing
it's
this.
painful.
But you're not
It's
addressing what I'm
painful.
saying.
It's very painful for
You're
Christians.
not addressing what I'm saying.
I understand the pain.
His
I
point
understand
is,
the pain.
guys,
Okay.
forget that
I
it could have come
understand the
before
pain.
Muhammad.
No,
Forget
wait.
that it came
I'm
before
asking now.
Uthman.
I'm asking now.
Just pray
I'm
that it
I'm
was
not
by
going
a
to let this question
companion.
go. I'm not going to let. It's painful. It's very painful.
You've lost.
Now one
You've
of the
lost.
earliest copies of the Quran.
Was it before Uthman?
Found.
Was it before Uthman? Was it before
There's a
Uthman?
reason why he's doing this.
You've lost.
There's a reason
You've
why
lost.
he's doing this. Okay,
You
it's a
cannot
very simple
affirm
question.
that it came
Very
before
simple question.
Uthman.
He cannot
Game,
answer it.
set,
He will
match.
not answer it. You know why? Because it dies. Because you know
He
what?
can't answer my
I'll
question.
tell you why. I'll tell you why.
It's
because
done.
I'm going to ask the same question.
The narrative is finished.
About the text of the New Testament, and he doesn't want to go there. So wait.
We spent most of this debate talking about the Injeel and the New Testament.
That Quran we have in Birmingham. From
18,
the
19,
time
20.
of Prophet Muhammad's companions, possibly
before.
written by one of them,
Or before.
is there a word in that copy as it is transcribed? I'm now using very specific language because you're simple now, so I'm trying to simplify it. As it is transcribed on that parchment, is any word or sentence different to our modern copies as they have been
So
transcribed?
modern copies, let me
Okay.
give
So
an
very
answer.
simple
Let
question.
me give an
Do you all
answer.
understand the
Let me
question?
speak.
Do you all understand
Oh,
the
let me
question?
speak.
Okay.
The copies of the Quran you have today come from the Qur'an of Hafs, who got it from his teacher Asim.
He's not going to answer
Listen,
my question.
I am.
He's
This is
not
my
answering
answer.
my question.
Because it
I am
comes
asking you a question. Is that copy in
Hafs.
Birmingham?
Hafs.
Okay, it's not Hafs. It doesn't say anything about Hafs.
You
I'm
said
not-
the Quran
and
today.
Hafs is not there. Hafs
Is-
is not there. Hafs is not even born. Hafs is not even born.
I know. Your Quran doesn't even date back to Muhammad.
You people are so ignorant.
You've just refuted the
Okay,
Quran.
wait. So this is why.
Hafs wasn't at the time of Muhammad.
Wait. The Qur'an.
you've just refuted the Quran.
The Qur'an.
Hafs wasn't even at the time of Muhammad.
Wait. Yeah. So you
Thank
keep
you.
mentioning Hafs.
That's brilliant. I
Hafs
love
has
that.
nothing to do with that parchment in Birmingham. Wait. Yeah.
What is the most common Quran read today?
Wait.
What is the most common
Chris,
Arabic Quran read
Chris,
today?
Chris, I'm not surprised, by the way.
What is the most common read
You are a
Arabic Quran
Trinitarian,
today?
and I know
What is the
Trinitarians.
most common Arabic Quran read today?
Okay. I'm going to repeat my question. That Birmingham
There you are.
parchment,
The Dawah Shuffle.
is there?
The Dawah Dodge.
Is there?
Can't do it.
Is there a word?
No.
Is there a word?
Listen,
Wait.
They
I'm gonna
are
repeat my question
different
because I'm going to
because the
expose you again.
continental
Why am I doing
Razim
this? Why am I doing this?
does not have diacritical marks.
Is there any difference?
So that their
Is there any
game is
difference?
exposed.
Yes,
Wait,
they don't
I know
have
the game they
diacritical
play.
marks.
The game,
Simple.
The game they play, they will never go to the text. They will always talk about the Qur'an. There's a reason. I'll tell you why.
Show me-
They will
show
never
me-
go to
show
the
me-
text.
show
The
me in
text,
Arabic.
The text. Am I being consistent with my criteria?
Actually, let's do that.
Absolutely.
Let's bring that up.
Because I want to pose the same question about the New Testament. We have New Testament manuscripts very early, some from the
thank
2nd
you.
century.
The Bible is a kryptonite for
Okay,
them,
wait.
brother.
First of all, we have this manuscript in Birmingham, in the library, which has been carbon dated to have come from the time of the Prophet or his companions.
Or before.
Definitely his companions, no doubt. No
What?
scholar.
Wait,
because of
wait,
the
wait,
latest
no.
date.
No.
The latest
the
date.
earliest date
The latest
is
date.
568.
I'm talking about the latest date. Did you hear me? The latest date. I'm not talking about the earliest date.
Yeah, but then you
I'm
can't
talking
say
about
it came from the
the
companions. then.
latest possible
said
date. The latest possible date with 90% precision.
What?
You don't know how it works. Carbon dating. I'm talking to an ignorant person who's throwing names. Patricia Crone, who died before this carbon dating was done. Patricia Crone died
Yeah,
before this
mate,
carbon
this was
dating.
done in 2015.
Okay. Yeah. So now, ladies and
What's that
gentlemen.
got to do with anything?
Okay, I'll tell you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this parchment in Birmingham has been carbon dated to have come from the time of the companions of the Prophet. And
Wait,
there are
no,
professors.
You've still done it.
There are
No,
professors.
no.
Wait.
No.
Okay.
It
You don't
falls
like
within.
do you?
It falls
You don't like-
within.
I don't blame
but
you.
it could also be
You-
568.
The situation you have put yourself
which is
in.
before Muhammad was even born.
Okay.
Why is he picking an arbitrary date? I am accepting any range. He's saying no. It has to be this range.
Because I'm talking about the writing.
Right,
You're
the
so
writing.
simple. You're so simple. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, I do, and you're just
I'm
playing
talking
some
about the
waffle.
writing, not when the parchment was prepared. Okay, you are dying
The
because
writing?
you're dying because you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going, and
I have no idea
and
where you're
I don't think you are as simple as you look. You are very clever, and you know the
Thank
game
you.
you're playing. And I'm trying to break your game or break it down.
'Cause you know
for
you're
people
struggling,
to
don't you?
realize what games you guys play. So there is a reason why you do not answer my question. A very
have.
simple question. The answer is no.
Are there
There is no
differences?
difference.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes,
The-
there
wait.
are differences because the continental Razim does not have diacritical marks in the Birmingham
Wait.
portfolio.
Okay.
Your Quran
So
today does.
this-
End of. Done.
Okay.
Done. Do you understand? I've just given you the answer. You said it's very difference between what they have then as a written text and what the Quran is
When you
today.
finish.
Yes.
When you finish.
Done.
Are diacritical marks,
Oh, now we're going to address them.
wait,
That's-
are diacritical marks
Right.
part of the consonantal ductus?
They are not part of the continental.
So shut up
Latin.
then. Shut up and let me talk.
Shut
the hell up.
The Muslims to blame.
Shut the hell up. You don't know what you're
Do
talking
the
about.
diacritical
So let
marks
me-
change
so
the meaning?
why are you?
Do
why-
the diacritical
why-
marks
you
change
don't-
the meaning?
No, there's a reason.
Do the
There's a
diacritical
reason why
marks
you're doing
change the
this.
meaning?
There's a reason.
Do the
Okay.
diacritical marks change the meaning? Do the diacritical marks change the meaning? Tell me.
I'm going to address
Tell me.
I'm
Do
gonna
the
address
diacritical
it.
marks
I'm
change
gonna-
the meaning?
I'm going to address that.
Now,
point.
tell me.
I'm going to address that point.
Right now.
We are not getting. Look, once we are established with this point I'm making, we can move on to diacritical marks. You're making it more painful than it has to be. There's a reason why you're doing this. There's a reason why you're doing this.
Do the diacritical marks
I
change
will
the
tell
meaning?
you. I will tell
Now.
you. I will tell you. First, let
Go.
us get step by step, because I know you don't like this exercise. I know.
I don't like
It's
being
painful.
told. Oh, wait. I'll
I'm
give you
going
an
to repeat
answer.
the
Just
question.
wait.
I'm going to repeat the question.
Just tell me the
I'm going to
answer.
repeat the question.
The question I asked you.
The Birmingham parchment. The Birmingham parchment
He can't
that was written during the companions of the Prophet's lives. Okay.
Again, you keep assuming
Okay.
it.
He acknowledged that
It
potentially,
could be,
potentially,
but it could also be
it
before
could
he's
be-
born.
It could be.
It could also be
Okay.
before he's born.
No,
But it
because
was
we have
before
said,
Uthman.
We have said I'm not
So
talking
that's wrong
about
anyway.
the production of the parchment. I'm talking about the writing,
Which we know would have been used quickly
you simple
afterwards,
man.
using common sense. According to him,
You
they
cleverly
make
simple
really
man.
difficult parchment and they just leave it there for
Sometimes,
like decades.
sometimes people pretend
How
that people are
silly is
stupid.
that?
Some-
How
sometimes people like
gullible
this
do
think
you have to
people are
be
stupid. Who are
to
watching
think
are
that
stupid.
people
They're not
make
stupid.
parchment,
They're not
which
stupid.
takes years to produce, and then go, right, what should we do with the parchment? Just leave it in a cupboard for decades.
Chris,
Well, not interesting whatsoever.
Chris, I'm going to repeat.
You're
I'm not
being
going to let this one go.
disingenuous.
Chris, I'm not
You're
going to let
being-
this one go. This is
Do
very
the
painful.
diacritical marks
This
change
is very
the meaning?
painful for you.
Do
I know.
the diacritical marks change the meaning?
wait.
Answer.
Okay.
Answer.
When
Do
did-
the diacritical marks change the meaning?
When did they come?
Do the diacritical
When did they
marks.
come? When did they come?
The diacritical marks. Long after the time of Muhammad.
Thank you.
Not for
Shut
centuries.
up.
Well,
I'm talking about the
you
early
just affirmed
period.
what I said.
I'm talking about.
You just affirmed what I
Okay,
said.
No.
You've just
no.
admitted
No.
that there is a difference between what was then and what we have now.
Okay.
Thank you, Adnan.
Thank you, Adnan.
Finally. Let
me-
It's like pulling
Let
pulling
him-
needles
let him
out of
go on,
something
let
that
him go
else
on,
is
let
in
him go on.
front. The
Now-
text then did not have diacritical marks, only a consonantal
Why
rasim.
would you not answer my question?
Therefore,
Why would you not
it's
answer my
different
question?
necessarily
You
to
know,
the
he
Quran
doesn't
you
want me to
have
come to the New
today.
Testament. That's why he's not answering the
Done.
question.
Done.
He
Done.
doesn't want me to come to the New Testament. There's
Done.
a reason. There's a reason.
Oh,
He
we're talking
doesn't
about New
want me to
Testament.
come to the- Yeah,
Oh,
because,
no, he goes
because
to the
I'm
New
going to lead to a
Testament.
point.
Well, you
Okay,
concede
now,
the point.
I'm gonna-
I will talk about the New Testament if you concede the point.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
Yeah, you concede the point.
Let me
That's
let me
fair.
say what I want to
I will
say.
talk about the New Testament. Just
Let me
concede
say.
the point.
Okay.
That's fair, Adnan.
That parchment in Birmingham doesn't have diacritical marks.
Exactly.
Okay, now, so diacritical marks are irrelevant to this discussion.
What?
I'll
They
tell you why.
changed the
I'll
meaning.
tell you why, Chris. I know why you're desperate and you keep going back to diacritical marks that don't exist in this
What?
parchment.
Yeah,
Now,
they don't exist.
so why are diacritical marks important for him?
Because they changed the meaning.
But they don't exist in this parchment.
Exactly, so it's not
what
the
the hell are
same
you talking
then.
about?
The
What
Quran
the
back
hell are you
then
talking about?
in the Birmingham portfolio cannot be the
first of all,
same that you
first of
have
all,
today.
First of all,
End of.
First of all, what
He
I'm
has
talking about-
refuted himself.
Chris, can we make it a bit more decent?
No. You have called me an extremist. You have called me
You are
all
an
sorts of things. You've grabbed people's phones off them.
You are disingenuous.
Exactly.
You're
He
very
has called me every name under the sun.
Exactly.
Yes, you've told me to shut up.
Exactly.
You have no decorum, and you've been caught out as a liar. He asked me a question. He asked me a question. He said, "Is there any difference in the written text in the consonantal rasim from then to the Quran we have today?" But the Quran we have today is the consonantal rasim and the diacritical marks, which change the meaning. So the answer is yes.
Can I come back now?
No, done.
Okay.
This is a shame.
No,
This is a shame.
There's
You're
a
gonna call me
reason.
names.
There's a reason why these Christian missionaries do
Oh,
this.
now I'm a Christian missionary.
Okay. Christian activists. Listen, you're a Christian activist, right?
Christian.
You're active right now. You're active. Yeah? You're an
You
activist.
use it derogative
Okay.
sense.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen,
You-
these people,
funny they never describe themselves as
why
Islamic
they will
missionaries.
why they will never talk straight.
Why?
What do you mean talk straight?
Why?
I just
Why?
gave a concise answer.
Let's see. I'll ask you the question again.
Oh
In the Birmingham parchment,
Okay.
diacritical marks are not a question of
Exactly.
discussion.
So it
It's not a
cannot be
question
the
of discussion.
same.
I'll tell you why. Let me explain to people, those who want to learn. You
Yeah,
don't want
I've
to learn.
already explained
you don't
it.
wanna learn. Ladies and
They can
gentlemen,
literally Google what I'm saying.
the Birmingham,
Go on, Adnan, you can do
the
it.
Birmingham-
You can give an answer eventually.
Birmingham, you're shouting, screaming, heckling.
You've called me every name under the sun.
It doesn't make
You
me
have
weaker.
called me every
Doesn't make me
name.
weaker.
You've called me every
Doesn't make
name.
me weaker.
You're already
Now-
weak because you do ad
now
hominem.
we are standing
You already-
on
you
very
already gave up.
solid ground. There's a reason. There's a
Very
reason.
solid ground.
So, ladies and
I've
gentlemen,
non-existent
there's
diacritical marks.
there is a reason.
Oh, there is a
why these people will not answer a straight question.
These people. No. He called me every name under the sun. He said these people.
There's a reason
This is
why-
what
why-
happens
why
when you
don't you
lose a
let me
debate.
talk? Why
Because
don't
he
you?
just insults you. He just makes things up. I'm an extremist. I'm insincere. He told me to shut up.
what he's saying.
Have I ever told him to shut up? Have I ever said he's an extremist? Have I ever said these things? No.
Chris.
I want to talk about the arguments.
Can you answer
He
my
doesn't
simple
want to
question?
just. I've just given you.
Nice.
Do you want me to tell you again?
No. Okay.
No.
The Birmingham parchment.
Yeah.
It doesn't have continental. It doesn't have diacritical marks.
Exactly.
So
Thank
that's
you.
a question not relevant to this. My point.
The-
So don't be irrelevant. Give me a relevant answer.
I have about 5
The
times.
Birmingham parchment.
Yep.
Every single word in it,
Yeah.
as it is transcribed. And as our current copies are transcribed without the diacritical marks.
Take
wait,
them out.
Wait.
Oh, you got to take them
wait,
out.
Wait.
you see.
No.
Right.
You see, I want everyone to see this behavior.
What do you mean this behaviour? You call me an extremist, you snatched
it's a
his
simple
phone,
question.
you call me insincere,
Okay.
you told me to shut up.
What part
Dude,
is not fact here?
and he tries to take the moral high
I'm
ground.
gonna ask the question
he
again.
tries desperately
I'm gonna ask-
to take the moral high ground.
Nice.
Now let me
Okay.
answer you.
No.
Let me answer
No.
you.
So
You
you got
made
my
a
question now.
Yes, you got a
You
question.
got my question.
Yes, you got a
After-
question.
how long did it
Right.
take me? How
He's
long did it
now
take me?
saying,
Half an hour?
just take.
Okay, yeah.
I've been answering the same
half an hour
thing.
on this question?
He's
About
saying,
half an hour, yeah?
if you
On
take
this
out the
question.
diacritical,
So he just
let
got my
me
question.
explain.
He got my question.
If you take out the diacritical marks,
Which don't exist in the parchment.
then are they the same? The reason why that's fallacious, the reason why that's fallacious, and then do the diacritical marks change the meaning?
Okay.
Tell me now.
I'm going to answer the
Tell me
question.
now.
I'm going to answer the
Right,
question.
go.
I'm going to answer my question.
Okay, go.
Okay. The Birmingham copy of the Qur'an.
It's like it's stuck on loop. It's like okay.
I know why you're not answering my question.
I literally asked you a question.
I want Christians to see
Whoa.
why is your
Do they
guy,
change the meaning?
Why is your guy not
Do
answering the question?
they- I'm
a simple
asking you.
question. Why is your guy
This is
not
bad.
answering a simple question?
This is bad.
The
guys.
Birmingham copy of the Quran,
Right.
which comes from the time of the companions of the Prophet, when they were
Apparently,
alive,
or before.
direct disciples of Prophet Muhammad,
No.
who had seen him,
That's
spent
possible.
time with him,
It's not
walked with him,
affirmed.
talked with him,
No.
fought with him,
Possibility.
okay,
You're
prayed
saying
with
it
him,
is
prayed with him.
No, he's
There
just
is
telling
a-
you fairy
the
tales
You know
now.
the Birmingham parchment.
He's like, please accept it.
It is the most painful historic reality to these Christians.
No, we love it. No, as Christians, we love it.
Historic reality.
It came before Uthman.
And you can see why.
when
You can
Islamic
see why.
narrative is wrong.
Okay,
It may have came
the most
before Muhammad.
painful historic
Islam is
reality
wrong.
for these bunch of bigots.
More insults. There you are. Adnan, you're always my brother in humanity. I don't need to insult you. No matter what you say to me. No matter what you say.
You're a good Christian. You will never insult me. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm not talking about diacritical marks. That's a separate question, separate topic that we can address. No problem. I will address it. I'm not going anywhere. People who know me, they know me. I don't run away from questions. I'm one of those guys who will walk into you with answers. Okay.
You're not a chance.
You're not a chance.
So,
Not yet.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now my question again: as the Birmingham copy of the Quran has been transcribed, potentially by one of the companions of Prophet Muhammad, an early copy of the Quran, as it has been transcribed, the words as they have been transcribed, and the words as they have been transcribed in our modern copies of the Quran, are they exactly the same, or are they different in words or sentences? Do you understand my question?
Yes, there you go. Now, to explain, what he's hiding is the fact that the diacritical marks, when removed,
He's not answering my question.
cannot tell you the words. You don't know the word. Listen. Do you know the word without diacritical marks?
Do you understand my question?
Yes. Do you know the word without diacritical marks? Do you know the word without diacritical marks? Do you know it? Do you know it?
Let him finish.
No. Do you know it? Right.
Okay. Did everyone understand when I said diacritical marks are a separate question?
Oh, it's
They are a
separate.
separate question.
Because he doesn't
I
want to
am asking a
acknowledge
very
that he will
specific
fail
question,
there.
which he is failing to answer for the last half an hour. Why? Why is very interesting. Why is the question? Why is he not answering my straightforward question? You know why?
Because
You know why? I'll
you're
tell you
Listen,
why.
I have answered again and again.
His answer will dismantle his answer. No, he's not answering. Brother, you just came. You just came. How long? When did you come? 3 minutes ago? Okay. Do you understand my question? Can you ask my question? Can you ask my question? Can you ask my question?
No, he ain't going to stand in for you. Stay here. Stay here. He ain't coming in for you.
Can you ask my question?
Listen. Yes, give me 3 minutes.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
No,
There is no timing here.
Oh, give me time. Give me time.
Right time. I'm sorry, on time.
Thank you. No, do time. Do time.
Wait.
I want the
Before he
time.
answers, I want a very specific answer. I want a very specific answer that exposes them. Yeah, wait. Okay.
Come on.
Hello. No commotions back there, please. Okay.
Will I use these
Now,
examples?
ladies and gentlemen. No, wait. That's not relevant to our question. We will come to that. Okay. My question is what? So that again I can repeat my question for the 50th time.
All right.
Diacritical marks are not my question. That's a separate question. That's a separate topic. There's a reason why he keeps jumping to that. Wait. I insist that he answers my specific question,
Which is?
with specific details. Okay. My question is, the Birmingham parchment that was potentially written by a companion of Prophet Muhammad.
I like how you use the word potentially.
Okay,
That's a different-
absolutely, because I wanna.
you have not been so
Yeah,
far.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
Give 4 minutes to answer. Don't interrupt.
Okay, can you calm down?
Finish your
Can you calm down?
Finish your question.
Go, Adnan. Go.
Come on, you can do it.
There's a hooligan, man. There's a
No,
move
don't worry. I enjoy his interruptions.
Brother, you should be to go to there. Come on, okay.
When SOCO cameraman makes noises,
Why are you talking-
we know that humanity
Dude, just talk the
humanity is
answer.
colorful.
Oh,
Okay, people have different.
Come on, stop deviating. Tell me the answer. Come on.
So people need to.
Come on.
Yeah, people in human bodies can do things.
Stay on topic.
Please.
People in human bodies. Come on, calm down.
You are waiting.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Diacritical marks and how that text. Okay, wait. I'm gonna wait. Diacritical marks and how a text is read. How it is read is a separate question. To how it is written. Do you all understand that?
Yes.
Okay. How a text is read and how it is written are two different questions. Two different questions, yes? Okay. I am
me
talking
answer.
about, my focus is on how it is written. That's first.
Let me answer.
Writing is first, reading is after.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Now,
Let me
we are
answer.
still on writing. I'm not finished. I know you're dying to answer my question. I know you are boiling to answer.
I know, I got
Now,
answers. Yep.
how it is written, my focus is on how it is written in that parchment, whoever wrote it, okay? I believe it was a companion of Prophet Muhammad who wrote it. Professors from Birmingham University, they also think it was one of his companions who wrote it.
Others that don't. Don't say that.
4 minutes. No, nobody interrupt.
Let him finish.
No. Is it finished or not?
The Birmingham parchment, my question is now, how it is written, not read, reading is not relevant to my question. How it is written, transcribed by a scribe, and how our copies are transcribed, or what they look like, the words, are they exactly the same? Or are they different?
Okay,
Right, so
4 minutes. Nobody.
Want
Okay,
examples?
right. So, wait.
4 minutes.
Why are you interrupting?
Because
You calm down. Let him answer.
because I saw you are
Wait, did you all get my question?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, do you want an answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do not go to
Right.
diacritical.
Okay.
please.
Okay.
No, you can't tell me what I'm talking about, bro.
I made it clear.
Stop, please.
I made it clear. No, let people
Right.
see.
Let me
see
answer.
how genuine this person is.
Right. Okay, so his question is very carefully formulated, and the reason why is because he wants to get out of the accusation that there's differences in meaning. So what he's doing is he's saying, if you get a consonantal rasim, which is what the manuscripts are written in, we agree on this, you can then compare this to a consonantal rasim later on. But my point is this: from the consonantal rasim, do you know what the words are? No, no, he doesn't.
Are you answering
no,
my question?
No, I am.
Okay.
So he cannot say there is no change in word
let Christians see
or
what's
meaning.
happening. I want Christians to see what's happening here.
So he cannot say there is no change in word or meaning because it wasn't fully written at that time. So what he's doing is he's doing a quick hardened switch. He's saying if you look at the consonantal rasim, which isn't the whole story, that doesn't tell you what the words are, that doesn't tell you what the meaning is, and you compare it with that same level of data now, they're the same. The problem with that is that the detail that then defines what the word is, what the meaning is, comes later, and there are variants and there are differences. This is why he keeps saying, don't talk about diacritical marks. Because as soon as I bring that up, his whole argument falls. His whole, did he not say don't talk about diacritical?
Carry on.
Did he say that's
I
a
want
different
Christians.
topic?
I want
It is always
Christians to
a
see
different
this.
topic.
I want Christians to see this. Muslims are
He
already
cannot,
converted.
he cannot
I
tell
want
you,
Christians to know this.
he cannot tell you what Surah 18, 19 and 20 say without diacritical marks. I challenge him to prove me otherwise. Tell me what Surah 18, 19 and 20 from those manuscripts say. Read it to me. You know Arabic, right? Can you read it and tell me? Tell me what it
I'm waiting
says.
for you to finish.
I'm done
I'm
now.
still waiting for my answer.
There you go. What do you mean? I just gave you the answer.
You didn't give. Did he give me? Did he give my answer? Did he answer my question?
Of course I did.
Yes, he did it.
Oh.
Put it up. Put it up.
That is good to respect, listen and question.
So now, did he answer my question?
No.
I'll repeat my question. I will not let this question go.
I've given you an
I
answer.
will not give. Even if it takes me 2 more hours, I'm gonna nail this one today. I'm gonna end your Qur'an attacking argument. I'm gonna end it today. I'm gonna bury it today. And the reason why, brothers and sisters, the reason why I'm doing this exercise, as painful as it is
It's very
for
painful.
the future of Christian
Just
Muslim
admit there's
dialogue.
different variants.
Okay, and you
Just
can
admit
use
there's
this.
different
You can
variants.
use this as a reference in the future, inshallah. Okay, there's a reason why this guy is not answering my question. I'm going to
I
repeat my
have
question.
answered.
The way the words have been transcribed,
As a consonantal rasim.
I'm not using these flashy terms.
What?
Put them aside.
You've
I
used
know
it
exactly
yourself.
what they
You've
mean.
used it
Yeah,
yourself.
but I'm making it
Alright,
simple.
alright.
I'm making it simple. Okay.
sure.
The way
Yeah.
the words have been transcribed
Yes.
in the Birmingham parchment
Yes.
that may well have been written by a companion of Prophet Muhammad. Okay. You have a problem with that?
No, I'm just saying it's
You just
irrelevant.
did this.
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It doesn't make any difference. Now this is now going to attack me again. See, you can't even say a question.
Why? You know, Scott, you know.
Anna, are you able to actually answer something without insulting someone?
The fact that the moment I mentioned the companion of the Prophet of Islam, they just do
How?
No, you know why? You know why? They have nothing from Jesus. Nothing from his companions.
Notice he's
nothing
changed the
from
topic.
eyewitnesses.
He's changed the topic.
You know, wait.
He's changed the topic.
Wait.
To the Bible.
They have nothing from the first century.
There you are, ladies and gentlemen. It's a sour dog.
They even
Sour
what they
dog.
have from the second century
Now
are
he's talking about the
fragments as big as this.
Why are you picking up leaves?
This
Why
is
are
how
you
big
picking up leaves?
the earliest. Wait.
You're
no,
stealing
I am
phones,
not, I
you're
am not,
picking up
I am not.
leaves,
Wait.
you're doing funny
Wait.
dances. Mate, you can't answer.
Wait.
You can't answer.
Run to the Bible.
The earliest manuscript of the New Testament is from the mid-1st century, and this is how big it is. This is how big it is. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for that tangent. You can answer the question?
Why is he not answering my question? And you know why? Because he
I gave
knows
you an
the
answer.
conclusion. He knows what's going to happen. And the moment he answers my question, you will see.
You don't know what the word
happens.
is.
You will see. I'm just keeping it as a secret. As long as it may take, as painful as this exercise may be, but it is going to be decisive today because Chris is going to answer my question.
Alright.
Okay, now I will repeat it. The words as they are transcribed in the Birmingham parchment, the structure of the words, the structure of alif, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, words. The words as they are transcribed in the Birmingham parchment and the words as they are transcribed in our modern copies of the day, 2022, are they different? Words or sentences? Simple question.
Simple. Here we go. You don't know what the words are because you don't have the diacritical marks to distinguish them. You only know. No, he just told you don't. The reason why. Listen. Read in Arabic what so 18, 19, and 20 are
Read it.
without diacritical marks. Read it now.
Read it.
Does anyone? Can you bring a modern copy of the Quran quickly?
No, read without diacritical marks.
Can you bring? I'm going. Which Quran? This is the parchment we're dealing with. Christians, look at this one. This one. Okay. A Quran written by one of the companions of Prophet Muhammad.
See, he's back to saying it is again.
Surah Taha.
You don't know it. You're just making it up.
Okay. Taha. Surah Taha. I'm going to make the answer very simple. And I'll tell you why he's not answering my question. He knows the answer. He knows the answer. He's not answering. You know why he's not answering? Because he knows the answer and he's dodging it. He's going
You're
around
dodging
the
it,
bush.
mate. You're dodging it. Mate, we should have moved on from this. Admit that you don't have a single Quran. You're variants.
2022 taken from an app, okay, on internet, and first century Quran written by a companion of Prophet
Read it
Muhammad.
to me.
Okay.
Read it to me.
Okay.
No. Don't compare it. No.
Wait.
I want you to read what it says. What did it say?
Calm down.
Read what it says.
Calm down.
Read what it says.
Calm down.
Tell everyone here what it says.
Calm down. What is my question?
What a deceiver.
Ladies and gentlemen, calm down.
He's holding
Calm
two.
down.
Don't use the Arabic there. Use the
Those
Arabic
who say
there.
The Quran is corrupt. Please stand up. Please stand up.
We're all standing. We all think it's corrupt. Don't use that phone. Use that phone.
Please stand up.
Wow.
And then someone's
Wow,
going to
this is bad.
Snoop Dogg. Okay, ladies, astaghfirullah. I shouldn't. We're discussing the Quran, so we should.
I know you're mocking it.
No, we're not mocking.
We're
mocking you guys.
just started saying,
We're mocking
please
you
stand up.
guys.
Please
We're
stand
mocking you
up.
guys. We're mocking you
He's
guys.
holding the Quran and he's just doing songs and dances.
No, we're not.
You crazy
Okay,
person.
ladies
Listen. Don't read from that. Read from that.
Okay, ladies
Don't
and
read from that. Read from that.
Okay. Don't die. Just wait. Live
Right,
for a few moments.
he's cheating and lying to you.
Live for a few moments.
He's still. Put it away.
Calm down.
Put that away.
Calm down. Look. Can you see?
Just put it away.
See how
I want you to read from that
How
Quran.
agitated they are. How agitated they are. Look at
Adnan can't read from that Quran because it doesn't have the diacritical marks.
Ladies,
Put that and prove me wrong right now.
wait,
Go on, put it down. Put it down right now and prove it right now.
Wait.
Can
I talk? Can I
Go,
talk?
do it now.
Why are you so
He
agitated?
can never do anything.
Why are you so?
He can't
Why are
answer any
you? Why are you
question.
like fish out of water?
Put it
Fish
away.
out of
Put
water.
it away.
Why are you
Put it
so
away.
agitated?
Adnan,
Calm
you've
down.
lost, mate.
Calm down.
Just admit you've
Calm
lost.
down. Calm
Put
down.
the phone down.
You know why they are behaving like this, ladies and gentlemen?
Because you can't read the Arabic Quran without diacritical marks.
They're not going to let me talk. My question was what? My question was words as they are transcribed.
You don't
Okay,
know the words.
First of all,
if you don't have the diacritical
were-
marks,
the
because you don't know
person-
the meaning.
Wait. The person who was transcribing this copy, this particular manuscript, did he know what he was writing? Yes or no? Did he know what he was writing?
Yes, he would
Yes.
have had his
So
diacritical copy.
he knew what he was writing.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was right, yes.
So this is something he had written.
Yeah.
My question is, what is written there?
Right, tell me.
Okay.
Tell me.
Without.
Just read it.
Calm down and let Mark.
The guy doesn't know Arabic.
I'm
He
gonna
can't read
make
Arabic.
it. I'm gonna.
Okay, come on.
Let me ask
Put your phone away. Look, I just want you to have that phone with that
I'm asking
Arabic.
a question.
Why are you bringing leaves off the floor?
I'll show you.
My days.
I'll show you.
Muslims, what is going on? What is going on?
I'll show you. Do they look similar?
No. Hey.
Do they look similar in shape? Do they look similar in shape?
This is the day Adnan
Do they
lost
look
his
similar?
mind.
Do they look similar?
You're
Do they look similar? Do they look similar? Do they look similar?
This is
the level we have to go
This is your
down.
Taib.
With these guys. Wait. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing this for a reason. I'm going to bury this argument today.
Wow,
These guys,
You've done nothing
they
for the
will
last
get the
2
lesson of
hours.
their life. I'm going to have to go
Read
down
it
to
to
this
me.
level with these people.
Read the
Because they're not
Arabic to
answering my
me.
question.
Read the Arabic.
Okay, literally.
Adnan can't read Arabic.
Similar.
Thank you for proving
Everyone.
it. Adnan can't read
They both
Arabic.
leave. Do they
Adnan
have similar
can't
shapes?
read Arabic.
Do they have similar
that one.
shapes?
Yeah.
Read it.
Okay, wait.
Read that one.
Do they look similar? Everyone?
What are you doing?
Do they have
What on
similar
earth
shapes?
are you doing?
Yes. So you can tell this leaf looks very similar to this leaf. This leaf potentially, possibly
Adnan,
came
read
from the
that
same
one,
tree.
please. Read that
Yes,
one, read that one.
because we are standing under a tree. They fell from the tree.
It fell
and
from
they
the
look very
tree
similar.
to
Yes.
the tree.
Yes. Now.
Don't pick up anything off the ground. Leave the ground alone. Okay, right. Now,
ladies and
read
gentlemen,
that.
back to the Quran.
Read that. Don't use that. Use that. Put that away. Just read
Put
this.
that away. Put that away.
Read. But I want you to tell me what this says.
Ladies and gentlemen.
No. He's
Okay. Why are they dying over this exercise?
Because you don't know
why?
Arabic. Oh dear. Oh,
I feel
Muslims,
so-
come on.
I actually
There are
feel
better
sorry for
days.
these guys.
There are better days.
I feel sorry.
Just
you know, this is why I want you to know, everyone watching. Some
you've
people
called me
are
an
extremely
extremist,
evil.
insincere.
No, I'm not saying
you've
you. I'm saying
already
some
called me
people
it.
are evil.
You've called me.
They
Oh,
deserve hellfire. They deserve
like
hellfire.
those who
Because
mislead
they
about
have
the
been
scripture of your
They
religion.
they know the truth and they hide it from you. They
Like
know
you
the
are.
truth, They hide,
Prove
they
it,
hide
read
it
that,
from you.
read it.
So let me speak my truth and let's see if I'm hiding.
Okay, read it.
My question was.
Read it.
My
Oh.
question was. This first century copy of the Qur'an.
Can you read it?
Written by a companion of Prophet
Tell me what it
Muhammad.
says.
Wait, let me finish. Let me finish.
And you promise me.
Okay.
You promise me.
Let me finish.
You will read this.
Put that away.
Let me finish.
Put that away.
Put it away.
No, put
Let
that
me
away.
finish.
Put that away.
Let me
Don't read it.
finish. Let me
Take
finish.
that phone away.
There is a reason why they're agitated. That guy
I'm
behind the
asking
camera is
for
dying. He's
Been
dying. I don't want.
asking. Mate, we'll be here for weeks before we get an answer from you.
Okay.
He's been talking mostly
My
before.
question was.
He talks more than
My
me.
question was. Are there any differences
In the words.
in a copy of the Quran from the first century of Islam, written by one of the companions of Prophet Muhammad, number one, and the way our modern copies are transcribed.
But not how.
Okay,
not
the
actual
words,
text.
Do they look exactly
No,
the
the,
same?
no, the trick.
Wait,
the trick.
Wait.
He's basically saying,
look-
ignore how it's written, ignore the diacritical marks.
You have to let me finish.
You have already conceded.
You don't have to like what I'm saying.
You have already
You don't have to like what I'm
conceded. You
saying.
have already
Calm down.
conceded.
Calm down.
They have difference
You don't
in
want
meaning.
Christians to know this, do
Read
you?
that, read
You
that.
don't want
Read
Christians
that
to know
text.
this. You don't want
Adnan.
Christians to know this.
Just-
I'm more concerned about
Just
Christians.
retire.
I'm more concerned about Christians. I
Just
don't.
retire.
Muslims already
read
believe
it.
in this. They already believe in this.
Muslims don't
the
have a
people
clue,
you
'cause you
deceive
confuse
and
them.
lie to,
You
I want them to
deceive
know
them.
this.
You deceive.
Okay.
Read that.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
go
not
read
going to
it.
stop until I finish. You're going to let me finish. You're going to have to let me finish.
All right, I'll let him finish, and then let's see if he reads
now,
it.
ladies and gentlemen.
Don't read. No. Don't read that one. Don't read that one. Don't read that one.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Take that away.
This
Take that away.
is a first century Quran.
Oh, this is embarrassing.
And this is a
I don't know. I don't understand what the point is. He's just
Now,
showing that one
this
is diacritical
is
marks, one doesn't.
Surah Taha. This is chapter called from the Quran Taha. T-A-H-A. Okay. How is the word Taha spelt in this first century copy of the Quran? There. Ta. Ta and Ha. Ta and Ha. Yeah. Is it there? Yes, it is there. Yes. How is it spelled
they
in
require
our copy of the
diacritical
Quran?
marks.
Can you magnify this?
Oh no. Go
Wait.
on. Go on.
It's not finished.
It's a diacritical marks. They're diacritical marks.
Down. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen.
There's no diacritical marks. There's no diacritical marks. Thank you. There's no diacritical marks.
Modern one.
Yes, they're diacritical marks.
Okay.
That's what? I can see them. Yeah, in that particular one, there's no diacritical marks.
Can you leave him alone? Let me do this. This is going to bury them today.
Is there diacritical marks on those particular consonants?
Wait.
Is there diacritical marks?
There is a reason why they don't want me to talk. There's a reason.
We've let you talk for ages. You just don't say anything.
This is Taha from the 1st century.
Is Taha requiring diacritical marks?
Okay.
Very simple. Does it need diacritical marks?
And this is Taha.
Listen.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay, next verse. Next verse.
Listen. There are some letters in the Arabic alphabet that do not require diacritical marks. However, there are ones that do. He's pointing at a very specific one that doesn't need them.
Move on.
To refute me, he just has to read the Quran.
Read it.
That's all he has to do.
Read.
Stop looking at two of them.
Read.
Just read. Start from one and read through it.
Yeah, read.
Simple.
Read.
That's all you have to do.
Okay.
Just read it.
Now we're moving on from Taha. We're moving on from Taha.
I'm not interested
Here
in all
it
the
says-
Arabic letters
here
that
it
don't need
says,
diacritical
as
marks.
we
We
read
know
it,
that.
As we read it. And my point, what is my point? My point is to show you that the copy written by a companion of Prophet Muhammad as it was transcribed is exactly the same as our copies are transcribed in words
doesn't
and
have
sentences
the words
today.
or meaning.
That's the point.
That's the point.
Okay.
You don't-
Okay, wait. Now, is that true? Is that true?
There's no words
Is that true?
because you
Is that
don't
true?
have the
Is
meaning.
that true? I'm showing the evidence. If you
It's-
don't,
it's-
if you don't
it's-
answer the
guys,
question, I'm going to
wait,
show the
wait,
evidence.
wait, let me explain.
Here is the
Let
evidence.
me give you the analogy.
Here's the evidence.
What he is doing is he's basically
Here's the
showing you half of a
Ma-
sentence and asking if that's the full
anzalna.
sentence. No.
Ma anzalna.
Do they
Okay.
require diacritical marks? Do they require diacritical marks? Do they require diacritical marks? I want you to read this.
Okay.
You can't
Do
read
you,
it.
do you know Arabic? Do you know Arabic?
I don't need to. I just need to trust
No,
scholars.
okay.
Read this
Okay.
and tell me if you know what it is.
Wait. You still don't get my point, do you?
Guys, I've given
You
him
still
enough
don't get
time.
my point.
I've given him enough time. He's made his point, but he won't address mine.
Wait.
He won't address mine.
You still don't get my point, do you? You still
Are
don't get
these
my point.
diacritical marks? Are these diacritical marks?
Are you? Wait. Are you? Do you have a learning disability?
Sorry, I didn't insult you.
Sorry,
Wow.
I'm not
Wow.
insulting you.
Oh,
But
really?
I'm trying to understand. Do you have a learning
This is your dais. This is your dais.
Do you have a learning disability?
This is
I'm
your
trying to.
dais.
Wallah,
I've gone from being
by
very
Allah, I'm
intelligent
sincere.
to having
I'm
learning
sincere in my
disabilities.
question.
That is the state
I'm
of
not
the
trying to
dais.
insult him.
Oh,
I'm
really?
asking.
No.
Do you have a learning?
Listen.
So do you understand my point?
Does every Arabic letter require diacritical marks?
Wait.
Answer.
Do you, Chris, come back here. Come back here for a second.
Come here.
back for a
here.
second. No.
Does every letter of
Chris,
the Arabic
Chris,
language
why
require
are you
diacritical
so
marks?
agitated?
Guys, I've given him time.
come back.
I've given him time.
Come back.
Guys,
Come back here, please. Come back here,
you
please.
come here.
My request.
Come
It's
here.
my request. My
I
humble
humbly request you.
brother,
You've just said I have learning
come back here.
difficulties.
Can you come
Get
back
here.
Because
Get
I
here.
want
I don't
you to
have
calm
to
down.
make his request when he just said I have
really
learning
want to
difficulties.
nail
Get
this.
here. Get here.
I really want to nail this.
I've just given
finish
you
it today. Finish today. Okay, come
This
back here.
is obfuscation at the
Your-
highest
highest
level.
level.
The highest level.
Chris.
Does every Arabic letter require diacritical marks?
Chris.
No,
Chris.
that was never my claim. But there are Arabic letters that do require diacritical marks. That's why he can't read the portfolio out loud, because he won't know what it says.
I said to you, diacritical marks is not the point of discussion.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about
No,
it.
we do talk about it. I will stay.
Do you know words
Okay,
are
I promise.
without the diacritical
I
marks?
promise, Chris.
Do you know what the words are diacritical marks? He does not.
Chris,
He does
Chris,
not.
are you
Don't
listening?
touch me, man.
I
Come
give
on.
you my word. I will discuss diacritical marks
Right.
for as long as you want.
Right.
I will.
Do you know the
First,
word without the
let me-
diacritical marks?
Let me get an answer to
Do
this
you
question.
know the word?
Chris, because this is very important. Before we go on to diacritical marks, this needs to be established.
You
If
don't
it's not
know
established,
what the
we have
text
no discussion.
is until you have
Chris,
diacritical
Chris,
marks.
Chris,
You don't know what the text says.
So are you?
Refute me. Tell me what the read that out loud. Tell me what it
Chris,
says.
it could have been easier earlier. 1 hour ago, when I asked you this question, you could have said, yes, there are no differences. No differences. Then we would have. We would have.
You don't
we would
know
we would
what
have,
the word
Chris,
is.
Chris,
So you can't
Chris,
talk about
why,
differences
Chris,
until you know
Chris,
the word.
Chris, do you see where I'm going? I am trying to get to the topic step by step. The first thing is the writing. The first thing is the writing. If the writing is not the same, there is no discussion.
With the writing alone, do you know the meaning?
Okay. Wait, Chris, why are you going? I'm discussing A and you want to discuss D, okay, or B or C. I am discussing A. Can we establish A? then we can go to C.
It makes no sense to talk of something that has no
I know you
meaning.
understand me. I know you understand me, but there's a reason why you wouldn't.
But you're avoiding
you
the
wouldn't
topic.
entertain my question. My question is what?
Right.
First, let's establish A. A is the writing in the parchment as it is transcribed, the way the words look.
Does
wait,
that the
wait,
full word?
wait,
Is that the full word?
Wait.
It's not the full word.
Wait.
Hence it's meaningless.
Wait.
Until you
Chris,
have diacritical marks.
I know you understand what I'm asking.
Right.
You're deliberately ignoring me.
No, it's
No
just
problem.
you're-
I want
you're
people to listen to me.
basically saying
Chris,
the
there's a
consonantal
reason
vowel
why you're not
and the
entertaining my
consonantal-
question, Chris, and that's the reason that is directly relevant to the
can't
point
be
you want to
Arabic.
jump on.
You can't
Because
be
if you agree on this one,
can't be
there is no case further down.
cannot
There is
be
no
Arabic.
case on diacritical marks. Once we agree with this.
Stop lying to yourself.
Okay, so come back.
Don't stop telling me to come back. You stay here.
Chris.
I don't owe you any niceties given what you've said
Chris,
to me.
the words as they look in the first century copy of the Quran,
Are they
written
complete
by
words? Are they
one of the
complete
companions
words?
of Prophet Muhammad, are those words
Are they complete?
transcribed?
Are they complete?
Transcribed.
They are complete.
Are they transcribed or are they written in exactly the same way as they have been in our
They are
modern?
meaningless.
Okay, wait.
Because-
Wait. They're not meaningless.
Yes.
They're not
Then tell me the
meaningless
words. Then tell me the
because
words.
the people who were
Then
writing
tell-
them,
they
they knew
know-
the meaning.
they know it.
Oh, they
You don't
knew
know
it.
it, though.
They
You
knew
don't know it.
Okay,
You
okay,
tell me
okay.
what it is.
Okay, wait.
Read it now.
Okay.
Read it now.
That's why,
just
Chris.
admitted
That's why,
you can't
Chris. We need to establish this point before we move on. If this is not established, we're not going anywhere until I get
consonantal
an
vowel
answer from you.
is
You
not
haven't given an
sufficient.
answer. You're a spin doctor
No,
who
you're
refuses
a
to give an
spin
answer.
doctor.
Give me
You
an
haven't
answer.
addressed what I've
The
said.
words from the first century copy of the
Yes,
Quran,
are just the
as they are
consonantal text,
transcribed,
right?
as they are
Which is
transcribed.
not the full
Okay,
word.
Okay, now that the Chris is not answering my question, and the question is very straight,
To refute
that
me,
they are
you
exactly
simply
the
have-
same. That transcription of the words.
They're literally different words because the diacritical marks change the meaning.
Now I'm going to call him a liar. I didn't call him that first. I
Oh.
showed you the evidence.
I'm an extremist.
And I can
I'm
go
insincere.
through the entire
I'm
chapter.
a liar.
I
I
can
have
go through the
learning
entire
difficulties.
chapter, and you will see every single word there is transcribed in exactly the same way as we find it in our copies. And he's
Despite
saying
the
that's
fact
not
that
the
one
case.
has
He's
textual
saying that's not the case.
critical
I have
marks
physical
and the other
evidence.
doesn't.
I have
That's
physical
literally
evidence.
impossible.
Now, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
you
a
know
massive
why,
lie.
You know why he's doing that?
Huge lie.
Now.
Huge.
We have physical
check
evidence.
everything I'm saying.
We have physical evidence.
You can't read Arabic.
We have physical evidence to show that our first copies of the Quran
Which are incomplete.
were written exactly the same way
They
as
don't
we
have
write them
diacritical
today.
marks.
Okay, wait.
They don't have diacritical marks.
Wait. Now
That's not possible,
now
Adnan.
that that's established.
That's not established. That's my entire point of my argument. That's a lie.
I pose a challenge
Adnan,
to this
you
guy,
are deceiving the Ummah.
which he will not accept.
You're
and that's
deceiving
that's
the
the end of
Ummah,
the game.
Adnan. There is
That's
no
the end of the
textual
game. The challenge is
diacritical marks.
show me 1 second, 3rd century copy of the Bible.
And we're back to the Bible.
And the New Testament.
And we're back to the Bible.
One.
This is how you know
one.
he's run out of stuff.
You have hundreds. You have hundreds of copies
Adnan, I love
from the
talking about the
2nd
Bible.
and
But
3rd
I know what
century.
you're doing.
Okay.
I know what you're
I
doing.
understand.
I know what you're
I
doing.
understand your frustration. You don't want to go to the New Testament, do you?
No, we can
you don't want to go to
we
the
can
New
put it to
Testament.
our
You don't want to go to the New Testament, do you? You
You're
don't want to go to the New
terrified of
Testament.
answering.
No.
Read Arabic.
We have seen enough.
Read Arabic.
We have seen enough.
Recite
We've seen enough.
scripture.
We're going to
Read
move
Arabic.
on to the New Testament now. Okay. Now, ladies and
He's conceded
gentlemen,
ages ago. It's not
ladies and
answering.
gentlemen, our Quran from the 1st century is exactly the same as it is written in a modern copy.
Letter for
in the
letter,
Arabic
word
language.
for word, dot for dot. Oh,
Okay, now
there
the
is no
Bible.
diacritical
We're going to
marks.
come to the
You
New
have been
Testament.
refuted.
We're going to come to the New Testament.
Oh, changing the topic.
I challenge.
I thought you said you'd stand your ground.
I challenge this guy
I thought he said he'd stand
to
his
produce
ground.
one copy of the New Testament, even one page of the New Testament from the 2nd or 3rd century. That looks exactly the same today. New Testament Greek versions today, and I mean the words. I mean the words.
I know it's done.
I mean the words.
I have a few more things.
I mean
first.
the words.
Wait.
Are you going to answer my question?
No. I don't really care. Let me keep talking about the topic. Let me keep talking about the topic that Adnan cannot answer.
So he doesn't want to go
Let
to the
me
New
show
Testament.
you according to
No
the
New
British.
Testament. No New Testament.
I'm talking about
no
the topic.
New Testament.
No, this is changing
One
the topic.
copy.
Let me
copy
show you the
that looks
British
exactly the
translation,
same as the New
British
Testament.
translation according to the British Foundation, an Islamic Dawah team. This is Surah 18, right? Now we are looking here at Ayat 44.
So you
in that
couldn't answer my
situation,
question.
listen,
You
in that
couldn't answer my
situation,
question,
listen,
and you're going to play games now.
listen,
You're going to play games.
listen,
So you're
he's terrified. He's terrified. Let me
Christians have
read
seen.
it.
scared,
Let me
Christians have
read
seen
it. Come on, let me
what
read
these
it.
people are made of,
scared,
what they do,
Insult,
and the games
insults.
they play.
And then
They will
you're my
never
brother in
give you
humanity.
straight
I wish
answers.
you would get out
And
of
this
this
is how you
place.
deal with them. When they come
wish
to
you
you
would
now
leave.
and start telling you the Quran is not the same, pull out Birmingham parchment and
And I'll say there's no
show them the modern
diacritical
copy of the
marks,
Quran,
and you'll be
tell them-
refuted.
Tell them.
Oh,
this is it.
Adnan, you've
And
just
then
buried
when you
yourself.
do, pull out a New Testament
Adnan
copy.
says that
Pull out a New Testament
the
copy
Birmingham
from the
portfolio
2nd
is the
century
same as the Quran
and put the
today.
modern Greek
Oh,
New Testament
dear.
in front of them
Oh, dear.
and ask them to show the similarities.
Right.
Ask them to
Guys,
show one page.
let me do this.
You will not find one page that's similar. That's exactly the
you
same.
don't know.
Do you deny that? Do you
I
deny
want to
that?
give my end speech. 'cause
Okay,
that
we're
leads
done.
to-
Okay, brothers.
Right, listen. This is the same surah that is in the book. Come on, let me speak.
Ladies and
You
gentlemen.
just spoke.
Wait, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go.
Then let me speak and then you
Last
go.
words. 10
Let me
seconds.
have my
10
speech.
seconds. 10 seconds.
Why 10
Ladies
seconds?
and gentlemen, if
You had like
still
2 minutes.
If you still believe that these people are doing justice to you, okay, then you really have to
Notice
think
the
over this.
comment.
You really have to think
He
about
attacks
it.
me
They are
because
doing
he cannot
injustice to
attack the
Muslims.
argument.
They lie on
This is
Muslims.
the sign
They
of a
lie
man
on
who
our
has lost the
scripture.
argument.
They are blatant liars.
Unfortunately,
Don't listen to
notice how
them.
he
Even
calls me a
including
liar?
this channel, SOCO channel. They're a bunch of liars.
There you are. Bye-bye, Adnan. I thought you said you won't run away. Shamsi would be proud, Adnan. Shamsi would be proud. You got your running shoes on. Let me read it. Let me read. This is from the same surah in the Birmingham portfolio. Let me read. This is Surah Ayah 44. In that situation, protection belongs to Allah. But the word protection in different Qur'at is different, meaning some variants of the Quran have different words. Let's see what the different words are. Hamza, Al-Kasa and Al-Khalaf read it as, in that situation, authority belongs to Allah. A textual variant in Surah 18, Ayah 44. That wasn't hard. I managed to show a difference that Muslim Dawah teams affirm, and he's still saying it's the same as the Quran today. Question, which Quran? Which Qira'at? He can't answer it, which is why he says, ignore the diacritical marks. Ignore them. Don't want to talk about them. Because as soon as he talks about them, you have the fullness of the word in Arabic. And when you have the fullness of the word, you know there are variants. And if there are variants, the Quran is false because the Quran says that Allah would guard his word. Evidently, he hasn't. Perfect preservation is a lie told to Muslims they cannot defend. And now you've finished. Stop lying to Muslims. Come to Jesus Christ. God bless you all. Have a lovely day.